look at us being punctual, on time like usual. Well,
Are we really
we were
though?
supposed to record yesterday, but Mikey was sad, so somebody's
I
a
was definitely
weirdo.
sad, and we're gonna
Anyway,
touch on that a little bit later. But
anyway. What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the Royal Roundtable Podcastiana. What is Gucci with my peoples? What's good with y'all? We are on episode 14.
14.
And
That's a lot of episodes if you really think about it.
no, it's not. You think
Yeah,
so?
it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
For episode 14 for a two bi-weekly podcast, that's a lot. That's a lot of time in between those episodes. We've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah, the original
Yeah,
roundtable.
the original roundtable didn't even make it to 10. I was mad about
Yeah.
that, but you know, I take those. But we got to episode 8, and that was a weekly podcast. So if that's the case, we just dropped the ball on that. So we're here for this one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's not bad. But welcome. Hopefully, you guys are still enjoying the podcast. If not, then I apologize. Die.
Okay.
I gotta be so
I
dramatic.
like
I'm sorry.
the energy.
You guys already know what I want to say. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to leave a like on not only the full episode, as well as the highlights that will be uploaded after this. As well, if you're listening to this on any streaming services, be sure to rate the podcast. That way, more people can get introduced to it. That way, it does good. Whatever algorithms there are, and we could just
Give us
get
a
more
follow.
people. Yeah, hit the follow button. Get notified whenever. Hit the follow, subscribe, whatever, so you get notified whenever we upload more of these. And also follow the Twitter, because obviously you guys know we do ask questions every time we record a podcast on the Twitter, and then we answer them near the end of the actual episode. So with that being said, welcome to episode number 14. Episode number 14. Do you want to check-ins? We checking in. What's good with y'all?
Yeah, we're checking in.
All right. Who want to go first?
We checking in.
Who want to go first?
What the fuck was that?
All right, so I guess I'll go first. But every time, I talk about my job and my school. What's crazy about this time is I actually did get let go of my job. So that sucks. But it wasn't like I didn't see it coming. But the circumstances that happened around it is what I'm more just not really mad about. It's just really unfortunate. But so on Wednesday I had an anxiety attack at work. Well, it was starting at work, and I was like, I wasn't feeling good, so I was on my way home, and I got halfway home and my body just started going insane. Like between my thoughts and my actual how my body was reacting to it, it just was not a good time. I was on the highway. I had to pull over twice to like just to get my thoughts together. And then like the last time I actually got off the highway and I pulled into this auto tire shop, this random auto tire shop, and I called an ambulance because I genuinely thought I was having a stroke because my hands were numb. My arm, I felt it creeping up my right arm, the numbness. And like I was hyperventilating, and what the EMT basically said is like when you start hyperventilating, that's common, and you'll start to basically I wasn't getting enough oxygen to my brain while I was having this panic attack or anxiety attack. So I actually went to the hospital. I got some blood drawn. Everything's good. My vitals are all good. I don't have high blood pressure. I was just having a panic attack essentially, but. So I had to take some medicine or whatever just to like stabilize myself, and they gave me a prescription which I really don't need so far anyway, because none of this had happened again. Hopefully it's just a one and done thing. But I got news on yesterday, as of this recording, that I was no longer needed where I worked at. So great. We're still okay here. It's just going to be a small hit to our pockets. Hopefully, like I said, I came back to streaming or whatever. There's been a lot going on, so my focus has not been great, like at literally anything. But with all this time that I'm about to have, I will be coming back to content creation. I will be trying. I guess I'll be focusing on Fantasy Star Online 2. So if you guys are interested in Fantasy Star Online 2, peep the channel. I will be. I'm gonna start, studying and doing some guides on Fantasy Star Online 2, and I will be streaming it heavily because I have nothing else to do. So be prepared for that. Please support the boy. Like I said, I just lost my job, so I mean, any support is appreciated, even if you just show up, because that goes towards being partnered on Twitch. So I'll be streaming on Twitch and putting up videos on YouTube. So I'm doing the content creation thing until something else lands. Other than that, dang, yo, that was quick.
What?
That is literally the fastest I've ever seen anybody order something and then get delivery.
Did he order that while I was gone?
Yes.
That was insanely fast.
Well, one, the McDonald's is right here. Like,
Bro, everything is right there.
Everything that I ordered from is like right around the corner for me, but that shit still takes an hour.
well,
Everything is not right around the corner.
Somebody was out early, so
Right.
Go ahead. I'm about to mute
But
myself.
anyway, support the boys, support your black content creators, and because we are struggling out here, and we're gonna get to that a little bit later on in the episode.
I had a really good revelation. Literally, I had a revelation mid-stream, and I want to talk about this in the podcast later on after Yoku does his check-in and I do mine or whatever. But we got some topics, some tunes to talk about. You know the vibes.
Bro, you opening that bag reminds me of, because I've never seen that was my first time ordering Uber Eats or whatever from McDonald's, right? Back at PAX. Those fries, dog, those are lifesavers.
Bro.
The fries and the fucking nuggets, man.
Bro.
That shit was a lifesaver that night.
What? The Tony's party?
Yeah. The
Oh.
fucking
I'm
ordering
so mad
McDonald's
at
late
Tony
night,
about
bro.
that bullshit, whatever the fuck that was. He had an alcohol party. Like,
Yeah.
literally nothing else but alcohol. Like, who does that?
There was no food, none of that bullshit. I'm like,
It's
bro,
actually gone in less than
I could at least cater like some like two, like real talk. If you want to do a party, dog,
I definitely would have ordered Chipotle catering.
So what was supposed to happen?
I probably
was
would
you're supposed to
have
get
like
food
ordered some
and
chicken
order
and
pizza.
fish.
But I don't think anybody, like, I think once the actual like party started or whatever, the idea of food just escaped everybody's mind until everybody got hungry, and I was like, oh.
Nah, dog, y'all should have put in an order for 2-3 big ass pans of some fish and chicken. Get you some fries in that bitch too, and be decent.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit's relatively cheap.
Y'all, don't let me
From
host
where
a
though?
party.
Like, I feel like that'd be a more of a local thing. Ooh.
I was about to say that too. Like, you can't trust every fish and chicken spot.
That is true. That's true. Don't
And
let me host
Boston?
a party. Don't let me
There's a
host
really
party.
bomb ass deli. What was that? Jim's Deli is actually, I think is what it was called. It was this bomb ass deli in Boston around from where we stayed. It was really good. It was real good.
All right, well, I'm done with my check-in. It's up to you, Elko.
Yogo?
Hi, people of the internet. I have a new lens, if you can't tell, because now I have all this space, and I still have the same depth of field that I fucking wanted. Anyway, so currently drinking coffee. It sucks. I mean, it probably tastes good to you coffee drinkers, but it sucks to me. However, let me tell you guys about it. All right, so real quick backstory. Arxis, the guys that make Dragon Ball Fighters and Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, all that kind of stuff. They had this huge blowout sale for all their limited edition crap and whatnot. Me being me, the man of culture that I am, I saw
Nerd.
something. Shut up. Anyway, I saw something that I was like, damn, I didn't know that existed. I want it now. How much is it? Oh, it's like 60% off. That's a lot of money. So I put it in the cart and then I bought it. And ta-da! I bought a fucking booby pad. Yay! So
Why are you the way that you are?
these are the things that happen when I have no energy, or when I have money to blow. And that's not to say that I have a lot of money to blow, but I mean, come on, bro. This booby pad is like $60-$70, and then it's 60% off. I got it for like $25. Like, Why would I pass? No, that's not the one I wanted. I love S, right? I like playing S in the game. I wanted Yumi, but that's Samurai Kagura limited edition, $500. I'm not paying that. So that's what you could judge me for, Mikey. Like if I would have said like, hey, I got a Yumi booby pad because her boobies are like fucking realistic F cup size or some stupid shit, then you could be like, bro, like you weird as fuck. Why do you have that? How much did you pay for that? I'm like, all right, $500.
Actually, how much space do you actually have on that pad to use your mouse?
So surprisingly, this one I'm not gonna show you the old one that I have that I'm using now because it's like dirty. But this one is way bigger. So like the old one is probably like this.
You can't even play Call of Duty on that.
Big. Yeah, I mean, with this new one, I can play whatever I want.
Nah, you can't. Nope.
Why not? Why do you have to?
How you gonna turn on somebody? You can't turn. You gonna have to
you do a quick turn. What do you mean?
Nah.
What do you mean? So you just not utilizing the keyboard to the fullest extent? That's what I'm hearing. Like you just in every shooter, there's a whole ass button that just turns you around real quick, like instantly.
Bitch, where?
I don't know. Wherever your fucking keys are, just there's a button that does it.
Oh, ass.
Like in Remnant, for instance.
Oh, continue.
In Remnant, it's like C or B or whatever, and it does a quick.
All right. Well, I'll see about that.
We gotta play Remnant again, by the way.
We do have to play Remnant. I really like that game. That game is really fun.
Bro, man, that game is great. Got no sense of direction though, but that's all.
I still don't know. We're gonna turn that game on and be lost for another hour.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just like that game doesn't give you any direction. It really just doesn't.
So it's because I was looking back at our playthrough, Nick. Right? We have the same like base map. The first part of the area is the same. Going places is totally different though. Like we didn't have 3 different entrances that led us into the sewer when we first played it.
Mm. Fuck it.
I need to take a shower.
Is that all in your check-in?
Yeah, I mean, shit. Fuck, I don't know. I've been playing BB Tag a lot lately. It's really fun, but
you have. I actually wanted to play that since I've been playing Persona 4.
Yes, that's exactly what made me want to pick it up. So
but
I got like Discord into it, and
I just did not have the energy to reinstall it.
Nah, bro, it's not. So like the thing about that game in particular, and it's any fighting game, right? Because a lot of people, like, I got some comments on Twitter. And in my Discord too, they were like, why aren't you playing fighters? Like, why don't you just play fighters? It's better. And I'm like, in my opinion, BB Tag is better than fighters. And then someone's going to lose their fucking mind when I say that. But fighters, yeah, but listen. I enjoy anything closer to a traditional fighter, I enjoy more than Unga Bunga. I love anime fighters, but there needs to be some sense of...
And BB Tag is?
Oh!
BB Tag has a lot of fucking crazy shit in it. Listen. BB Tag has a lot of crazy shit in it, right? But
it does, and it's more of an arcade fighter than a traditional.
Listen, I can deal with it. In fighters, I'm literally playing Dragon Ball Z, but as a human.
Just gotta get good, dog. that's all that is.
Dude, it's just like fighters allows
whoever mixes
anybody. That's my issue. Is that you play somebody that's moderately good at the game itself, and they can just do whatever the fuck they want. Like I don't like Super Dash. I still hate Super Dash. But the Super Dash in the game, they can cancel like 9 different hits. They can keep a combo string going forever. There's a lot of shit that I don't like about fighters. That's not to say fighters is a bad game, right? I don't think fighters is a bad game. In my opinion, it's just not the game for me. And I actually enjoy playing BB Tag more than I do fighters.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not gonna judge you for that. Here.
Fuck.
At least he's honest with you.
He was honest. He was honest.
I guess it's my turn, y'all.
Yes, sir.
I've been working. That's about it. I realized how ahead I wasn't. And I just was like, damn, I gotta get back on my job. There's normally me. I always have weeks in advance of shit. or whatever.
Mhm.
Not this time.
You just been cooling.
Yeah, I've been chilling. You know, after the shitstorm that was this month.
Mm.
I'm kind
Tell
of
me about it.
Trying to find some type of cool and all this bullshit. But besides that, I mean, nothing else. Last of Us 2 came out.
Mhm.
That's about it.
I want to talk about that, but I'm not. I haven't no life the game yet. I'm still going through it, but I'll let you finish with your thing, and then we can get like a brief little Last of Us impressions.
That shit was great. Whoever mixed this macchiato, I'm keeping it.
What is it?
It's an iced macchiato.
Iced macchiato.
With,
I may order one. Cause you over there thinking.
I added vanilla cream to it.
Ah, okay.
And this motherfucker is touching me. Anyway. Damn. But no, other than that, I've just been working a lot, trying to get back into the groove of shit. Trying to take advantage of the summer while it's here. I've been going on these dates recently.
Dates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quotes.
We went out for Italian ice about a week ago. And I told her like, hey, I'm about to be working all week. I probably can't see you. And I'm kind of sad about it. And that's about it. I see her later today though. So.
Well, good for you, Nick, man. I'm glad you're throwing your heart back out there.
I'm not.
My guys,
trust me, I'm not. As honest as I can be with you, I am not doing shit nowhere near. I'm putting my wee out there, that's sure.
Dope.
But I be bored, so it's like, fuck it. I may as well chill out while she's here, because she's here till like till the literally September 1st. Because she goes back to Michigan, so I was like, all right, well, I'll just chill out and just enjoy what I got going on right here. Fuck it, why not, right? Besides that, nothing, dog, nothing. These last couple weeks, I was supposed to put out this PS5 reaction thing. I still have not done that. It's too late.
I was gonna say at this point,
it is too late.
Yeah.
Bro.
I mean, but we're slowly getting like leaks and all that kind of stuff throughout, the week and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, are you done, Nick? Just check in. As a matter of fact, we just got a Crash Bandicoot 4 link.
Yeah.
I just got wind of that this morning right before we started, the podcast. And this shit looks nice. It looks really, really good.
As it should.
Right. I'm glad PlayStation, like, I don't know if it's going to be a launch title or whatever, but I'm glad PlayStation is actually catering to their roots this time around.
That's not PlayStation no more. It's Activism.
Well, I mean, even still, like, Crash Bandicoot was a PlayStation. He used to be a PlayStation mascot.
Yeah, but
that's still tickling
that
along those nostalgia strings,
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're still showing him some love. I'm glad they actually got him in the forefront of their mind, and they're not forgetting old Bandicoot.
Well, they can't. That collection.
They can't because he made a great return.
No, they can't because that collection. And I don't know. People gotta stop capping. That collection and that racing game literally shitted on a lot of games on every console.
Yeah.
Dead ass. Like that. Like if you go into it, when you find out how good the Insane Collection did and that fucking kart racer joint did, you will realize that Crash Bandicoot coming back like he did, why that's important. Like this new game. This shit was coming because they're like, fuck it, he's back.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga can come back after 20 years of not having shit and body damn near every established fucking franchise that's on every other console.
The streets was asking
Niggas
for
wanted
it.
Crash Bandicoot. The gameplay was great. The soundtrack
I wonder
was
what
great.
they're gonna do with number 4 though, because I mean, like the remaster, it had its issues with the button latency. A lot of that didn't get fixed. So I wonder what they're gonna do for.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a whole new engine.
It has to be a whole new engine. I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
But
Because
all I
like
know is,
from what it looks like, they making it from the ground up. So
yeah.
they're not using anything that they used before.
That makes sense.
So, so what do you guys think about the price speculation? Is that a good thing or a bad thing that the digital is going to be supposedly $399 and the disc is going to be $100 more?
Oh, you're talking about for the PS5? It's I like it. I like it a lot. But my thing is, I think it should have been a $50 difference personally, because there's no Blu-ray drive that is worth $100 in my opinion.
That's
Like I can go out and buy. True. Yeah, like I can go out and buy a Blu-ray drive for like anything less than 50.
A new type of Blu-ray.
Yeah, but
brand new technology.
No, they would have said it because the developer, they had their whole developer stream. PS5.
I mean, there's a lot of things that they're not saying.
Yeah, like the alleged price, because the fact of the hard drive and OS operating system, if they're separated, because they said the OS was running on an SSD for something, but they didn't say if that was combined with the actual storage for the games or not.
I hope not.
It should be separated. We're at a point in time where they should understand that the operating system should have like at least a 500 gigabyte, 250 gigabyte SSD for the operating system, and that way all the updates just get dumped on that. And then there needs to be a self-cleaning process for the SSD too, to where
SSDs don't need to be cleaned.
No. What I mean by that is all the updates, all the firmware updates, whatever, you delete the old data when you reinstall the new. There's no reason to be keeping old update data on these hard drives. They should just be getting deleted. Like they just sit there
already.
No, it gets replaced over. But like let's just say there's packet file 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? And then in firmware update number 2, there's only packet file 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 are still there. So all they did was replace 1 2 3. 4 5 and
6 are still running though.
Yeah, but if it's a firmware update, you should just package all that in there anyway. Like I shouldn't have things from stock whatever 1 2 3 running on something, and then 4 5 6 is new, or 4 5 6 is old, and then 1 2 3 is new.
Well,
like just make everything fit with the firmware.
I don't think you understand how that actually works though.
I would if it wasn't
if 1 2 3 is there. Let's just say pack 1 2 3 is literally 1.0.
Yeah.
So if they add 4 5 6, 1 2 3 still has to be there because 1.0 is still the base.
Right.
So they're adding on to it. So it's kind of like DLC. It's like it's not going to run without the base game.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So that's why those old files are still there, because those are files that are unchanged but still integral to the operating system.
I got you.
So yeah, that's how that works.
Okay. Not
but
too shabby.
As far as operating system goes, like I really feel like they could run that shit off of a SD card or something like that.
He's like we don't
SD
need
cards
this.
are still fast too. Like it really, like I can literally run an operating system like on an old computer off an SD card and have it run just as fine as anything today.
Yeah.
But that you still gotta put in processing power. But my take on the actual price of the PS5 is, I think the price is good. It's good for a launch title, a launch for a system, but the demand is going to be insane.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to keep them in stock, and not everybody's going to get one day one. So it's definitely going to cause a wide divide between PS4 owners and PS5 owners. So it's really going to suck at launch, because the way the world is right now, there's just no way everybody's going to be able to get a PS5 when they want one.
I feel like
there's no way.
Everyone won't be able to get a PS5
now.
anyway.
You say what?
I said I feel like people won't be able to get a PS5 anyway, like just based off of if the price point is like the leak is the price point, and that's a fair price, even if you get the one with a disc, like $400 or $500, whatever it is.
Super fair.
yeah, for everything that you come with it. But everyone's not going to be willing to spend that, especially around Christmas time. So, you think everybody's going to be shelling out for it?
Everybody's definitely shelling out for that PS5. Everybody is. There's literally no way that somebody from now can't come up with $399 for Christmas.
Okay. I see you.
I mean, like half of the United States on unemployment. You really think they're using that money to pay bills? Come on now.
I don't think everyone's using that money to pay bills, but I do think that because you still have most of the fact of kids are going to be kids. They want the PS5, and then you're going to have those parents that don't want to buy it because they don't play the PS5. They don't think whatever. The ones that are going to go out and buy it and they know they're going to go out and buy it are adults. Those are the ones that are already managing their money. So to them, it doesn't matter. Like they could say the PS5 is.
I hit the bottom, bro.
Bro, you're ridiculous.
I hit the bottom, bro.
You're ridiculous. They're gonna, the people that are gonna go out and buy it, they're already there. So they're not going to.
Well, then you really have to think about the stock and at the gross stock.
Yeah.
So you've got people who are sent out test units. You have influencers that's going to get it for free, which is probably going to be a lot. You have like tech demos, places like stores to demo it because that's still a thing. And then you just have like a bunch of the other people that actually get it for free.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the stock that goes into stores, which is more than likely going to be limited as fuck. Amazon's going to get most of that. That's just the sad reality of, what's going to happen. Amazon's going to get most of the PS5 stocks. And it's going to sell out like immediately.
Amazon though. Like I have to go in a store and get it because Amazon I don't want to say the same thing is going to happen, but it happens every fucking year, man.
I won't trust Amazon. If I can find it in a store, I'll definitely get it from a store.
Bro, like at this point, y'all need to just have armed forces on your truck or something if you're just letting the entire trucks get stolen.
I'm going to Best
I don't agree with that.
I'm going to Best Buy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably. They may have because like Micro Center is not everywhere. There's going to be I have a Micro Center where I live,
I
so
was gonna say
more than likely
Toys R Us because nobody goes to Toys R Us, but
Toys R Us is gone.
You didn't have to do that, Nick. You didn't even have to bring that up.
Bro, Toys R Us used to be like the plug, bro, because nobody went to Toys R Us for games. So literally, when everything was fucking like selling out and shit like that, I'd be like, let's go to Toys R Us. Like, huh? Yeah, Toys R Us got this. Toys R Us got shits in the back. Chilling, like, hey, can I get this? I got a Oris early because of Toys R Us. Like a whole day. Yeah, I got like a whole day early. I went up there. I was like, yo, you guys got a Omega Man Alpha Sapphire? I was like, yeah. I'm like, how much? He's like, $40. Okay, cool. And he sold it to me. I'm like, okay. All right.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't care. They don't care.
They were closing anyway.
Years ago, they knew it was gonna happen.
They ain't care, bro.
But yeah, that's the problems we're gonna run into this year with the PS5.
I could see that.
I'm gonna try to pre-order it, but we know how that goes.
You know how that should go. I mean, if you get it through whatchamacallit, I feel as though people still hate GameStop for whatever, but GameStop, if you pre-order something, you're bound to get it.
Yeah, I mean, GameStop is still a game store at the end of the day, but shit, are they gonna last until October?
GameStop's not going anywhere until, even through the whole pandemic right now, they're still gonna be around. GameStop has, as much as people look at the stocks for GameStop and these articles come out and they're like, oh, GameStop is going out of business, they didn't make their sales. GameStop has buku amount of money, bro. Like it's just, they're not going bankrupt for the reasons that people think they're going bankrupt. It just, if they need to last for a whole year, they're gonna last for the rest of the year. Like they're not gonna close, and the PS5, Xbox One X are right around the corner because.
Well, the problem is they don't make money off of that. Well, they don't make any money off of that.
They make a little bit from it, but for the most part, they're not worried about making. I'm not gonna say they're not worried about it, their priority is, bundling all the hey, the PS5 is backwards compatible. You're gonna want these PS4 games. You can't get we got Horizon Zero Dawn number 1. Number 2 comes out X date. You ain't played number 1 yet. All right, we got it for $5 right now on sale. They're gonna be pushing all that. They're always pushing all that. Same thing with the Xbox. Oh, it's backwards compatible now. You guys have Sunset Overdrive. You don't have that. All right, here you go. You have Game Pass. You don't have that. We got a deal for this. Here you go. Like they're gonna hit you with every pitch, and then
they are. And I mean that's a very good sales strategy, but at the end of the day, I honestly $5 here, $5 there, and I don't think it's gonna work out for them the way that they think it is. Because
so
you're selling a brand new console, which they get a little bit off of, but your main thing is selling used consoles, and nobody is buying a used PS4 or a used Xbox One X right now, and they won't. Because they want the next thing, and they more than likely they're not going to be able to survive for the next console generation.
So what do you think is going to happen with because we know the Xbox is going to do a discless version as well now that they've done this. What do you think about this future generation, right? This next generation for our consoles? Do you think that we're going to have just or rather do you think going discless is actually the wave, like that's the future, or do you think that they should still include disc? Because me personally, whenever Xbox originally, everyone clowned Xbox for it when they announced that the Xbox One wasn't going to take physical disc at I think it was early on when they were announcing it, but they said it wasn't going to take physical disc, it would be all digital, for whatever their profits were, all that kind of stuff. It only made sense to me because it's like the disk is just reading data that they put on from, the computer anyway. So it's like if you're just downloading that same data to your system, it's there. Now, me personally, I don't like everything being digital because a lot of people don't know it, but you don't 100% own what is yours that's digital. What the fuck are you doing, Nick?
I just saw my hair. I'm like, bro, I didn't realize how much of a fro I had under here.
Yes, sir.
That done up.
Dog, when I get dog, hey, I've been rocking this homeless look for a minute. I'm telling you, when I get this shit retwisted, it is over for the hoes. Continue.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so like I don't. That's what I was saying. You don't 100% own your games digitally. A lot of people might think that, but you don't. Steam is probably the closest thing that you can get to actually owning your own things digitally. Because if you get banned, your account gets banned from Steam, your library is still there. If you get banned from PlayStation, all that shit on the PSN that you have, if it's not already on your PS4, if it's not already on your PS3, you just can't go to the PSN to re-download it. You're banned. So they have taken the rights for you to own it, and that's the thing. When you download something digitally, when you pay for something digitally, you're paying for the rights to basically lease it. You're paying for the rights to temporarily own it as long as you follow X, Y, and Z within that contract that you scroll all the way down to, and then you press X because you don't want to read this giant wall of text.
It's really hard to get banned.
It's really very hard to get banned, but
it's hard to get banned.
When it happens, it's unrefutable.
Well, so when it happens, you fucking deserve it.
Sometimes you don't, though. Like, little Timmy's probably racist as fuck, and you beat him in Call of Duty. So
no, then he's just banned off Call of Duty. You're not banned off of the entire.
I'm just saying, bro. You don't know. Little Timmy might have ways. His dad might be an IT.
Nah. That's not how that goes. That's not how that goes. You actually have to like either hack the system or, just make fraudulent charges. Those are the only two ways you can get a whole thing banned. And like if you're doing any of that, you definitely deserve to get your entire account taken away. So
get it out, leave.
I mean, it's like I said, it's really hard to get banned. So I absolutely feel like digital is definitely the way to go. I'm going to get the all digital version because it doesn't make sense. It's so inconvenient nowadays to go buy something physical because you have to download it anyway. Yep. So why not skip that part and just download it?
Now, I agree, but there's two reasons why I want. Like I'm hard. This is why I say it should just be a $50 difference, and it wouldn't be a hard decision. But the $100 makes up a big difference because that's a whole nother game and potentially, controller, charger, or whatever accessory you want to get from it. Or two games if they decide to sell them for $50 a pop, but I doubt it. Anyway, one, collector's editions. I can't get a collector's edition and then pay for it digital just because I want the collector shit. Because that's double the money.
No. See, the way that they should do collector's editions nowadays is just give you a code.
They
with
should
the
but they don't.
collector
Probably
edition
won't.
shits.
Like I would
They
much
should
rather
make two different. They should make two different collector
They
editions.
should. I agree with you.
Until we go all digital, they
not gonna do
need
it.
to make, they got to do something, because I would absolutely love to have a collector's edition of what is that game? Not Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that series. And if they had a collector's edition, but I'm getting all digital, so like, I should there's an option to get just the code instead of the physical disc, because they're having two different types of systems.
I think what they might do, if they do decide to take that idea, would be they're gonna cut out the middleman, so that you would have to pre-order it from PlayStation's website itself, and they would probably just deliver
just the digital,
and they would give you the collector's edition, but you would receive the code through email or something like that.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I don't think I'd have a problem with that either. Like, because I want it from my Persona or Ghost of Tsushima doesn't count, but like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, my bad, Demon Souls, anything like that.
I ain't playing that.
I'm absolutely playing the fuck out of Demon Souls, bro. I
ain't playing that.
I love it. That was the birth of the Uchi Katana, and it's just delicious, man. Actually, was the Uchi in? I think the Uchi was in Dark Souls. Nah, the Uchi was in Demon Souls. The hiltless, that was in Dark Souls. That stupid ass fucking sword. I hated it so much.
All right,
I'll explain it. The hiltless is a katana with no hilt, and so when you use it,
I didn't want you to explain it. I honestly don't care. Sorry.
When you use it, it damages you.
I don't care.
I informed you, so now you're well informed. Caring or not.
All right. So, overall, I guess feelings about the PS5 reveal.
I am a fan of almost everything they put out. Some things I don't care about, but I still appreciate, them showing it off. Like
I think we all know what we don't care about.
Yeah.
But GTA?
Oh yeah, for sure GTA. Y'all can go fuck yourselves with that.
Bro, man, I told Yoku this bullshit. I told Yoku this when we were looking at the shit. I said in the last 3 years, this is the best presentation I've ever seen in my life. Literally. In the last 3 years, that was hands down the best presentation. Like it started off kind of weak because they started off with Grand Theft Auto. But then the moment Grand Theft Auto came out, it just seemed like banger, 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 banger. You may not be interested in fucking in like the sports games and the racing games, but there's a reason why they keep making them things, right? So it's like for them, that shit's gonna sell. And so like literally, I noticed I noticed this shit, and it was so good to just be a fan, right? It was just like the moment Grand Theft Auto stopped being shown, it was just like that whole presentation was just fire, 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 and it just kept going, and it was just like. And Yoku heard me. I was over here spazzing. Every single game, I was spazzing over. Even the ones I wasn't interested in, I was just like, holy shit. Because this is actually happening. This is the new generation now, right? Literally, the games they showed the right games because we know what's coming next year.
Yeah.
Because the games that they didn't show, niggas were like, yeah, what about this? What about this? But you know they're coming next year.
Yeah.
But the games they did show were so good to the point where it's like, okay, this is it. This is what we're gonna put on.
Right. This is satisfactory.
Yeah, like
us with any type of like this is it.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody was like, is that it? Nobody was like, oh. I'm gonna skip it. No, fuck that. Niggas are talking about buying that shit on launch.
Yes.
Because of what they showed. I was like, Sony, you just fucking killed the fucking game in the last 3 years. That was literally the best presentation I have seen in my damn life. It hasn't been that good since fucking Resident Evil 2 and God of War got announced.
I'm so excited for Miles. I am absolutely ecstatic for Miles Morales. I absolutely loved every single thing about that Spider-Man game, the first one, except for, you know, the ending, which was like, why? But I'm super excited for Miles and like the shit that he's going to do. He's going to have stealth. We're getting like, bro, he's got like, y'all, I can't even put into words how excited I am for Miles Morales because he's not just a Peter Parker clone. He's got his own shit. Yeah. And the way that they're going to implement it, it's going to be fucking stellar. I can't wait. I can't wait for Ratchet and Clank.
You see the zap he did on that enemy? The zap?
Yeah.
Electrocuted. I was like, oh my goodness, bro.
Oh, that shit's fire.
I love it.
I can't wait.
He's my favorite Spidey for a reason.
I can't wait for honestly, like that little Big Planet game, that shit kind of looked fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, the Mario-esque little Big Planet they made? The platformer? Yeah.
Yeah. That shit kind of looked fun. What else? I mean, there was a lot they showed. Godfall looks fucking phenomenal. That shit looks fire.
There was a they did a little thing on it earlier last week or late last week, something like that. Talking about the game.
That might be a PC though. That might be a PC cop.
Godfall definitely looks like a PC. So it's they were going over it. Apparently it's a looter slasher. They're trying to make it the first of its kind. So kind of like a mix of what Anthem could have been with the katana.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool.
I like those types of games. Like if anybody knows me, I love PSO2. Like, and they come with the shits with PSO2. Like as far as customizability and all that kind of shit, I am down for each and every single loot drop. So bring that shit on for real.
Did you play Anthem?
Did I play Anthem? Yeah, I played.
Did you like it?
I like the gameplay.
You like the game?
There's no content.
Okay. I ended up buying Anthem maybe like a couple months ago because it was like hella on sale and I got it for like $10 or something like that.
Anthem could have been a Destiny killer. It could have been a Destiny killer.
That's what I hear. I also heard that the only reason I bought it was because allegedly they're giving it the No Man's Sky treatment and they're like rehashing the entire game completely.
I hope just
they
do.
No Man's Sky did.
I really hope they do because like if they actually add content to that game, the frame of that game was fire. The combat was cool. The mobility of that game. It really made you feel like you was fucking Iron Man. Like damn. That's how good the base game of that was. Like if you add a game into it, then that shit would have been a Destiny killer. If you would have had proper raids, if you would have had a PvP system, it would have been dope. It would have been, like I say, a Destiny killer. And I'll die on that hill. I will. But I can't get behind Destiny until they show me something better. Not Destiny, Anthem until they show me something better.
Okay. I like it. I'm here for it. The PS5 is going to be I feel like it's going to have a successful launch. The only thing that could fuck up the launch would be no games, and by no games, I mean no games on launch. But we know they're going to have
There's no way that they won't have bangers on launch.
Yeah.
They can't dangle all that good shit in front of us and not have a banger on launch. As a matter of fact, they say Miles Morales is going to be a launch title.
That's what I was going to ask if they had a date yet, because if that's on launch, that's a console seller.
It said fall.
That's a console seller. Yeah, that's a console seller. I know NBA said fall.
Yeah, NBA is going to sell.
Yeah.
I like the way that game looks. I can't get
Bro, he had real sweat, dog. He had real sweat on his face. He had real sweat. I was like, damn, y'all got me, bro. I'm about to buy the game now. I'm about to buy 2K22, bro. He had real sweat.
I don't really like non-retro Jordans, but them 34s look heat. I can't lie. Them 34s look fire. I'm gonna have to cop me a pair of 34s before it's all said and done. But anyway, is that it? Is that on the PS5? Is there anything you want to add to it, Nick?
Resident Evil 8, I'm excited for because it's actually a continuation. That Kenna game.
But boy, let me touch on Resident Evil 8 for a hot second.
Talk about it. What's up?
That shit look ass.
You think so?
Bro, like, come on, man. Resident Evil 8 looks like a PowerPoint presentation. What the fuck was up with that
Frame rate?
Frame rate?
Yeah, I saw that shit
Come
too.
on, man.
I saw that
It's
shit
the
too.
PS5. How did you get what is it? Resident Evil 7 to look so good, but then show off Resident Evil 8 looking like a fucking PowerPoint
It's not
slideshow?
ready.
You say, what if
Then
it's not
don't
ready?
show.
That is true. You know they gotta get the shits in, dog.
If it's not ready, then don't show it. Or you can just put out a teaser.
That is true.
All you had to do was just flash the little village logo.
What was that fucking game that it said it was coming out in 2023 or 2022? Like, why would you waste my time showing me a game that's not even ready to be anywhere
I mean, that's
near?
the same thing they did with Skyrim, the next Elder Scrolls. We still
but-
haven't heard anything about that.
Decade back, like we don't even have that.
But I mean, I get it. It's kind of like the whole Avengers thing, and it's just like they announced it so far back, and then every single con or thing they expect to show it. But I think for that game, I don't think anybody really watching out for that.
Damn.
But I don't even know what game it is, what the hell it was about. It was that forgettable for me. But anyway, what I'm saying about Resident Evil 8, get your shit together, Capcom. Y'all been pushing out bangers and bangers and bangers, but I do not like the way that y'all put that shit out. I love y'all like a brother, but y'all got to get y'all shit together and bring me Mega Man Legends 3.
It's never
Sorry.
happening.
Ooh, he asked
It's
for it.
never
Okay.
happening. Sorry.
Bro, why you gotta be such a fucking downer? You're a Debbie Downer, dog. Relax.
You gotta give up, bro.
No, one of the actual composers wants to bring it back.
So you know how long I've been waiting, bro. The niggas that made Skies of Arcadia are on Twitter talking about let's do it again.
Oh, you know what I think about you?
Yeah. I saw it.
I mean, they finna come out with merchandise.
No. I know. Trust me. I know.
They coming out with merchandise.
I've been seeing.
Alive, dog. The license is alive.
I've been seeing shit because they definitely have been re-releasing merchandise, re-upping their merchandise. All the development team or the lead developers, they're on Twitter being very vocal. Like, yeah, I would love one. I would love to do it. If Skies of Arcadia HD, yo, I'm spazzing the fuck out. I'm spazzing. I am out of here. Different nigga. But no.
I feel like it's coming back.
If it does, oh man.
Because you know how they like video game companies do this shit all the time. They put out like little like t-shirts or shit like that, something small to test the water to see how many people are really fucking with it. I think that's this, like releasing these little figures and all that kind of stuff. This is their test to see how many people is really fucking with it.
What I've also noticed is that it's also been getting a lot of love on YouTube recently. Like in the last like year and a half, there's been a lot of like videos talking about like, hey, y'all should have played this when this shit came out. Like, hey, like they like this shit, like this is a great game. Like, here y'all go, hey, boom, 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 and I'm like
it's when anybody ever talks about the Dreamcast, that game is like there's literally no video out here that talks about the Dreamcast that doesn't talk about Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah.
So that's how much of a cult classic that game is, and it really does need to come back because it's that good of a game.
If it does, I'm out of here. I'm a different nigga. I'm a different nigga. The thing out of the PS5 stuff though, I think the one game that I'm really, really excited for is that Kenna game.
It looks so good.
That Kenna game looks
really
that's
good.
it. I know like it's probably me gassing or whatever, but it has that same like appeal that Ori and the Blind Forest did when it got announced. And niggas were sleeping on Ori and shit like that. And Ori is a fantastic game. It has that same like charm to it. It has that same like wilderness aesthetic to it. It got it. And so I just know something's telling me I just know it's gonna be a great game. That's the one game I'm really excited for. But other than that, everything else, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I want it out now, to be honest.
It's not done.
I know.
Yeah, he ain't even got the PS4 yet, bro. I don't
I got
care.
it. I got it in my head. But
All right. I guess is that it on the PS5?
I was gonna say, anybody else had any thoughts? I thought somebody else was gonna speak.
Nah, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Overall thoughts, like price point's good. Games are good. Launch is going to be phenomenal. It's definitely going to be a cop for me.
Yoku, how do you feel about the Pokemon DLC?
I have mixed opinions.
Agreed.
As far as DLC content, it had promise. The island itself, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the island itself. I like how big the island is for how small it looks on the map. I like all the different areas within the island. I like the mix of Pokemon. I like the characters. I hate the fact that it was 5 hours long, something like that. I don't like that at all because in reality, taking the concept of Pokemon out of the DLC is very short. You do three things here, one thing there, and then boom, you're done. So in total, it's like 5 little objectives or 5 tasks, and then the DLC is done. And from that point on, now you're back to again
what you were doing, which is battling, shiny hunting,
exactly.
And that's it. And I was saying that on my stream. I was like, it kind of sucks because like this DLC really just added Pokemon.
Yep.
And it was crazy. It sucks too because like, for a while people were like, "Oh, you're not paying for the DLC mods." I'm like,
"You are."
And then once we got the DLC, it was like, damn, I really just paid $30 for like 100 extra mons. Not even 100 extra mons, like 50,
maybe
something like that, roughly.
It's over 100 Pokemon, but if we're talking like like a final form, the competitive aspect of it, a lot of these Pokemon are 2-stage or single evolution. So you do get a good chunk, right? We have the Porygon line, we've got Miltanks, we've got Azumarill, Skarmory, Lycanroc,
Heracross is back.
Heracross is back. Yep, there's a lot of great Pokemon that came back in this, which is why like
Scissor's back too.
Scissor's back, bro. I'm excited as fuck for competitive. I even said that I'd get into singles. I said I would get back into singles if they fixed up Smogan, bro. You're not coming back. Mikey's not coming back. But if they fix the OU or UU, like they just fix all the tiers in Smogan, I'll start playing singles again. Like I got me a Magirna team last night. It's a wrap. That Magirna team is nice.
Look. The only way Pokemon is going to get me back, and I really feel like this goes for a lot of other people who quit Pokemon. If Pokemon would do the thing that everybody wants them to do, which is make another Battle Coliseum and have it as a service. Run the Battle Coliseum as a service. That way you can focus more on your stories on the main games and then constantly update your service.
Yep.
Did we not have that conversation?
I made a whole video on it.
Mikey, I want you to know, we've been sitting here. We were talking. Me and Yoku and I think a couple other people were talking in the Discord one morning, like a 2-hour conversation. I thought I was gonna make a video on it, and I was just sitting here and I'm like, it'd be so dope if every Pokemon game came with a battle simulator.
Yeah.
Like imagine Sword and like I would pay $60 for a Pokemon game if like, hey, here's Pokemon Sword and Shield, but then on the eShop here's a free battle simulator where you can use Pokemon Home, transfer your mons from Let's Go, transfer your mons from like from Sun and Moon and shit. You can put your Sword and Shield mons in there, y'all can battle, but not even be free. You have to pay like an extra like $10, $15. So they can still get their money and shit, but it's not anything crazy like it's servers and shit going up. Hey, here's $15. You get the original game, story, all that shit for $60. Then for like $10, $15, you know what I'm saying? You get a battle simulator. Then for like $5 or $10, you get Pokemon Home. That way you're still making money. You're still able to transfer your shit. You just have to pay it. a monthly price or whatever, or a yearly price or whatever. Nintendo's online services are already cheap.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. You already have a
Crazy is-
28 year program. Just put like $5-10 on a little simulator joint. Transfer all your shits over. You have more. It gives people the option of saying, okay, I'm not gonna spend $60 on this game. I'm just gonna transfer all my mons using my $10-20 from Sun and Moon. Put the shit on there, and you just battle with your peoples.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be a multi-tiered thing, and also Nintendo could utilize it with fucking
I don't think Nintendo understands the
VGC.
Pokemon
Yeah,
low key.
they can utilize their own service with VGC. Like they could, you know how like Madden, one year they had an online tournament, and it showed up on the screen as a, you know, like a special thing. Like only like if you entered into this, you know, you locked in and you have to be here a certain time and then you'll play. That's how they can run their VGC tournaments.
I could see it.
All I'm saying is if Pokemon did that, they would have a wider fan base than just like buying the game every year and then having people be disappointed. That would
wouldn't even
be
be
more incentive for people to buy every year. So that way they can get the game, they can play the game, they can enjoy the game, and then at the same time they level up their minds, trade them to home, then trade them to the battle simulator, and then that's where they can do most of the, you know, the pro shit. You know what I'm saying? But for people who actually enjoy the story, they can have that DLC. They can have that they can have all that extra shit. So that way everything's funneling into each other. Yeah. So it's not just oh well fuck, I gotta buy the DLC to get this mon.
Nah, see, the way I explained it in my video was that the ideal thing they should do to please everybody, to just like you said, to bring people together in one way or another for Pokemon itself, would to simply be, let's just take Let's Go Johto, for instance, right? Because we have a strong feeling that it's coming in 4 days for the announcement. So they announced Let's Go Johto, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, or Let's Go Kanto, right? That's already a story-focused game. There's no competitive in that. Like Gen 1 competitive is just regular Pokemon battling, no abilities, no items, whatever. There's nothing really competitive about it. It's very casual. So we speculate Let's Go Johto is going to be the same way. Cool, leave it at that. They should literally drop Pokemon Battle Revolution for the Switch, or whatever the fuck they want to call it, and then that's where all the battles are. That's where your items are. That's where your abilities are. It's free if you have just like Nick said, the Nintendo online thing, or the Pokemon Home membership. I think it should just be tied to Pokemon Home, because you got to transfer your Pokemon between there anyway. And so what the incentive is that, all right, cool, now I can play with any Pokemon I want to. All 1,000 something Pokemon are available in this Revolution for the Switch. Perfect. All right, I don't have, oh man, I didn't buy Sword and Shield. Sucks for you, bro. But that would encourage somebody to go out and buy Sword and Shield, or to really use the fuck out of Pokemon Home and get all those Pokemon traded on theirs so they can transfer them into Revolution for the Switch. You use the base game, the actual game, to get the Pokemon, breed them up, raise them, whatever you want to do, transfer them from home to the Revolution Switch, and then call it a day from there. BP, bring back the Battle Tower, right? And then you earn BP the same way that we do in the games. You just take it from the games and put it in the Revolution, or you leave it in the game, it doesn't matter. But because you can't transfer items from the game to home, you have to have a way to have items in that Revolution for Switch. So you have a in-game currency that you use to be able to get them, or fuck it, do what every other free-to-play game is doing right now. I would pay for a stack of items. Hey man, you got to buy Focus Sash. It's $1. Fuck it, here you go. If I don't feel like battling that day, here's $1. I just got like a stack of Focus Sashes that I can put on the Pokemon I need to. Like there's so much like purpose in doing that alone. There's nothing but benefit. There's literally zero reason why they shouldn't do it. It's 100% beneficial to them and the player. And it would solve everyone's stupid ass issue about, oh, the new competitive, bro. Sword and Shield shucks. This game is ass. I'm like, all right, dog, whatever.
I wouldn't be opposed to having a gacha system in the simulator either. To
Yeah, because I
Put,
mean,
like,
you're spending all your
cosmetics
time
on your
there. It makes
Pokemon.
sense.
I was gonna say cosmetics in your trainers.
Trainers
That'd be
and
really cool
Pokemon.
too.
Like
Yeah.
if Pokemon had a battle simulator and they actually said, "Fuck it, here's a whole customization joint going on." They give you like these like preset avatars like how in Pokemon Go. Like you have like the default niggas, but then like you can buy the little outfits and shit for everything. Like you have like little every month or so they have like little sets or whatever for the outfits and shit. I would be all. I'm a Pokemon Wi-Fi battler. Back no, dead ass. Back in 2010, there were literal channels that ran off of Battle Revolution.
Oh yeah, no, I found them when I was looking for my stuff for the video. I was like, damn, people just playing Revolution all day.
Niggas. If you were around for that, it was some of the best shit on the planet because niggas were uploading Diamond and Pearl Platinum Wi-Fi battles, or they were playing Battle Revolution. But there were Pokemon channels that had both, and it'd just be like, hey, here's another Pokemon Battle Revolution battle I got today versus my boy. Yeah, it's a full 6v6, full 50, level 100s or whatever, and it just keeps going, and it just looks so good. The battle's just going. It's good to look at.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It looks and I don't want to say like way better than the games that we have now, because I still think Let's Go has one of the prettiest, models for their Pokemon. But Battle Revolution and Stadium had so much life in the battles themselves and in the animations. Like this Galarian Slowbro has 2 animations for Shell Sidearm. So if he uses it normally, right, he smacks the fuck out of them with his shell. But if he uses a quick draw, then he whips it out like a gun and he shoots it. So I'm like, that would have been perfect for Revolution, right? I mean, granted, I love it in the game as is now, but in Revolution, that's something more common. You see animations like very subtle like that, right? When Lucario does extreme speed in Revolution, he does the Naruto run and then like disappears and just bops the shit out of you on the other side. But when Gengar does something like what's that move called? Not Phantom Force, but there's another move that Gengar does or whatever. It gets behind you. Point being that he literally dips into the ground and then appears behind you, and then it does his little tongue weird shit. So all that kind of stuff. Everything has animations. Horn Attack from a Nidoking looks different than Horn Attack from a Heracross in Revolution for the Switch because they had so much life in it. So all this weird, animations aren't in the game. They're lazy. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Throw it in Revolution for the Switch. The Switch is
yeah.
5 so years, you don't have to make another battle simulator. You just make new games. At that point, fuck competitive. Like everything competitive happens in Battle Revolution for the Switch. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You already have rule sets. You just you take the rule sets from the previous game, like for instance, we're going to be in season 5 for VGC on July 1st. You just take that rule set and then slap it in the rank mode on Revolution for the Switch. Call it a day. Everything that's in the game applies to Revolution for the Switch competitive, and that's just it. That's all you have to do. But we, for whatever reason, know that Game Freak will just not do things that would just literally swim them in money and have everybody suck in their asshole. I don't know.
It's all right.
Fuck
It's
Pokemon.
all right.
I didn't go that far. Relax.
Fuck Pokemon. What else are we talking about? Oh shit, Yoko want to talk about something.
The NoName shit.
The J. Cole and NoName situation that you want to
Bro,
talk about.
I was driving home the other day and I had something to say about it. And I when I messaged the group, I was thinking to myself about it, but now I don't remember. But it was I was making a comparison. So a lot the whole issue, right? People flipped whatever he said, or maybe he said it was some intent, and then there's a hidden intent behind it. Whatever people gathered from that is on their own, and we can talk about the whole thing. But I just want to mention this point: that concept that a lot of you have mentioned on Twitter, or that a lot of people have, where if we're in a debate or an argument or a discussion, and you bring up something, or the other party brings up a piece of information that myself or whoever is the opposite party doesn't know, and when they ask what is that, or I don't know what that is, or whatever, their response is to Google it. So then I was like, all right, cool, that is probably the most counterproductive thing that you could say to bring somebody to your side. Because at the end of the day, an argument is not about winning or losing. It's about convincing the other party
We should
that you're
probably
the one that's
add
right.
context.
Like, sure, if you count that as a win, that's a win. But the whole purpose is to educate somebody else, for the sense that now they understand, where you're like, all right, cool. Now we're on the same wavelength. You understand why I'm right and why you were wrong. Now you can be right and teach other people why we're right. That's how that works. That's how an argument is supposed to end at the end of the day. So when I thought about that, I was like, all right, this entire thing is kind of like if somebody were to talk to me about Pokemon, because I know Pokemon. Hey, bro, I'm trying to build a team, blah, 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 whatever. You should use a Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak, beats every Pokemon in the game. And if you give it a Chardy Berry, it can't die to Rock Slide. Something stupid. Me, an intellectual in the game, no, you don't want to do that. You should give it Thick Club and, use this ability, Rockhead, so that you don't take damage from Flare Blitz, so you can kill everything with a Thick Club boosted Flare Blitz. Nah, bro, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Google it. Just Google it. I just mentioned information to you that would help you in the game. And instead of me telling you, because it takes like less than 10 seconds for me to explain it, instead of me telling you why the information is useful and better than what you just said, I'm going to tell you to waste more of your time to go look for something that you didn't know existed in the first place. That's stupid. That's counterproductive. I'm literally telling you, you know what? Forget it. Don't even get better at the game, bro. Just keep doing what you're doing. I might as well have just said that. And it clicked when that happened. And when I was like, counterproductive. Pokemon.
Let me
All that makes sense now.
let me add
And
context to what you're talking about.
Huh?
'Cause I want to add context to what you're talking about.
Go for it.
So for those who are unaware, J. Cole released a song, "Snow on the Bluff," which is basically talking about recent events. We all know what's going on, the Black Lives Matter protests, shit like that. And it was particularly responding to a particular individual who we're gonna say is NoName, because NoName is who it is, who basically tries to hold black entertainers accountable for not being as vocal about what's going on as they could be with their platforms, which is a valid, it's a valid, it's a valid want, but it's not a need. I watched the Dave Chappelle special. I don't know if anybody watched that 28-minute joint. But he was basically saying, like, I'm not needed for this. The streets are gonna talk for themselves. And I figured that's literally what it is. But you gotta also remember that there are people who really idolize these people and these celebrities to the point where their voice matters a lot. Unfortunately, J. Cole responded to NoName because NoName had tweeted out about black people or these black entertainers not speaking up when their whole entire discography is regarding the black plight. And J. Cole took offense to it because of, and this is how I interpreted it, I feel like he took offense because that's the label that people put on him. If you're a J. Cole fan, you know that he was never about the plight of the black people. He always spoke about his life, what his friends were going through, who just so happened to be black, right? And then him growing up biracial and shit like that. But you would only know that if you were a J. Cole fan. It was until recently, I would say it's since 2014, his audience and the people, his fan base, have given him and Kendrick this sage black person, civil rights activist type of like persona or whatever. And so I feel like he felt guilty because he felt like people gave him that title. I just want to say this: J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are two different artists entirely. Kendrick's entire discography is about the black person's plight. J. Cole's not so much. He wanted to be rich. If you remember early J. Cole, he wanted to make money. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to be that guy and shit. But it was because he had friends who were still living in poverty and shit like that. That's when he started to like switch to more aware content regarding what he's going through in his life. Now, he responded basically praising her. Really, like the whole point of the song was like, she knows a lot more than I do. I'm just somebody who the people gave, that responsibility to speak up on shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not who you think I am. Right? The person that you all gave me, the person that you all say that I am, I'm not him. I'm not this like sage like black activist guy, and I'm sorry that I disappointed you, I guess. And if anything, that song should have told people that you should not be worshiping and putting a lot of stock into what these people these celebrities are, right? And
Right.
so she responded back, but what's funny about that is that like a lot of the rah-rah is more from the people that are on the sidelines than it is the two individuals that it's going between, right? Everybody has opinions on shit that they feel. They interpret these songs differently. Some women are seeing like, he's being misogynistic. He's being, you're trying to check a black woman because, you know what I'm saying? Because she's black, and telling her to watch her tone, and the world is going away, and you're talking about this and shit like that. And I'm just like, how can...
Where'd y'all get that from?
And then, just for her to respond, it's just basically just like, it's divisive, really. Because it's just like y'all are focusing on each other and not what the people want you all to be talking about. So it's like, okay, now what? And a lot of people were trying to cancel J. Cole because their interpretations of the song. Like I said, him being misogynistic, him trying to check a black woman during all these crazy times. Then, that's when black women, the black, radicals started coming out of nowhere. And they're just like, black women have it harder. They started speaking up and shit and started putting out stuff. And it's kind of just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, the conversation got lost.
Yeah. So the whole thing ended up becoming not even about Black Lives Matter anymore. It became like, and this is what it sounds like. This is what it looked like to me. It ended up being Black Lives Matter. They it's like the women tried to like separate what Black Lives Matter meant, right? Because it was like, hey, I saw somebody tweet out, yeah, Black Lives Matter, but we're talking more about all black lives versus just black men. And I'm like, isn't that not what we're talking about? Right.
I feel like black lives are, a scope, and obviously there are some people.
That's my thing. Like, my thing is like Black Lives Matter is a general statement. Yes,
it's a general statement. But black lives.
Yeah, black lives. Right. Gay, women, trans, men, kids. What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? But there are people that are separating because they feel excluded. Right. And it's like.
Right.
It's like I feel like you guys are adding more to the problem than anything, personally. Because because you saying, yeah, black trans matters, black women matter. I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
That's a part of black lives.
That's a part of black lives. But then those same people will sit here and like try to combat you and say, that's not how people are treating it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? When you go out to these protests, you see mostly women and trans and gay people.
So I did just because we were mentioning this part, I did actually have a conversation with somebody about this, not specifically for this moment, but just it came up. There's a lot of things behind the Black Lives Matter movement, but in this particular that's relevant. The protests, the hashtags, the Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Of course, it really boomed with George Floyd, and being a black male, it followed suit with more black males. The I can't breathe, or ruthlessly killing a man in the street. All of that was pertaining to black males. And then so the one that's most prevalent to me, of course, is Breonna Taylor, and she was murdered in her own home in her sleep. And that is the prominent female that I am aware of.
The Toyin's killer was a black man. He just confessed. Literally, as we were recording this podcast, he just confessed that he killed her. He's been arrested.
Okay.
And he'll be
prosecuted. That's good. But yeah, so I think it's them. A lot of people looking at it as that one being vocalized, right? There's a lot of black women that are treated a certain way, killed and dogged down compared to black men. And so in a comparison value, right, if we were putting it on a scale, it's like 7, 10, 9, 8, 12 black men versus 1, 2, 3 black women. And so that vocal minority of black women is becoming louder and louder because there are more women speaking up about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just goes into the whole thing of the protests, the movements in general. If you go out there on these streets, it's in my opinion, it's predominantly women that are out there protesting.
I want you to know for the last 6 or 7 years, because they were protesting for LGBT rights as well.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 6 or 7 years, all of the protests have been women, gay men, and trans people. Literally. All black. Literally. So it's like, I never understood, why are we bringing this shit up when y'all are the ones that are out there? We know. Black Lives Matter was a generalized statement to me. When you say Black Lives Matter, nigga, I'm thinking of black lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're thinking of all black lives. Everybody's included.
When you say that shit, when you say that, the first person that comes to mind is my mom. Bitch, I will kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's the moment you say Black Lives Matter, I think of my mom. I think of my grandma. I think of Max. I think of Brendan. I think of myself. I think of like you all. I think of my friends, extended family. I think of the women I've been into it with. I think of everybody. I don't think there is I don't think there is a difference here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you can be one of those people that be like, oh, I don't agree with somebody's lifestyle. Yeah, that's fine. But my nigga, like, at the end of the day, you're still black.
Yeah.
Right.
I said this last time.
That shouldn't have.
You're still nigga.
Somebody's lifestyle should not be a death sentence.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you may not. There are still people who genuinely still do not agree with being gay or being trans. And you know what, bro? At this point in time, I don't give a fuck about them. Feel how you feel about that, sure. But at the end of the day, as long as you are still black and I'm still black, we still gotta get this shit rolling.
Right.
That's how I see it. It's like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give a fuck if you agree with me about how I choose to live my life, how you choose to live yours, how your sexuality is, or I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, right, for the last 400 years, black men, women, trans, gays, there is history documents that they've tried to hide for years. That have, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Our little petty grievances inside our community, we'll get to them when we get to them. But for now, I always saw it like this. For now, let's change the outside before we change the inside. Because we can't change the inside if the outside is fucking us over regardless.
Right.
Because if the inside is still fucking crazy, right? The outside is just as worse. If you still have these motherfuckers hanging niggas in broad daylight and shit, and you still have these motherfuckers shooting these kids, shooting these men, shooting these women and shit, going uncharged and shit like that, that's not good. But at the same token, in our community, you still have these black men who are abusing these black women. You have these black women who still feel unappreciated. You have these black LGBT people still still feeling invalidated and shit like that. And it all just comes down to priority. What's important to you in this scenario? When we talk Black Lives Matter, what is important to you? You know what I'm saying? When it should be everybody. But no, people want to talk about, they only want to talk about what they relate to themselves. Right? Where it's like, for when we talk about Black lives, or we talk about our Black lives, we're coming from a male perspective. You know what I'm saying? We're coming from a perspective from somebody who is gunned down, who is looked at differently, who is seen in a different light or whatever, right? When these LGBT folk, when these women come out, they're being seen as, not only are they being seen as Black women, the what's the word? The most unappreciated, the most disrespected gender and race that we are, but they're also, add on top of that, gay. Which is also still a very looked down stereotype. A very looked down lifestyle for some people, right? So it all just comes down to perspective and what you're willing to put first when it comes to this whole entire like thing. But that's my issue. My issue is there shouldn't be priorities here. It's the same fight. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Black men should be holding other black men accountable for their bullshit. That should have been established. But we got so caught up in the mind your business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it don't apply, let it fly. We got so caught up in people being their own. We got so caught up in the notion of staying to yourself and minding your business that we forgot that there are other human beings on this planet outside of our little globe and shit. So it's like, whose fault is that? Ours. We did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, if we're really gonna do this Black Lives Matter bullshit, there needs to be like some type of unity. But we can't do that if you're prioritizing one thing over the other. And nobody's saying like the other point doesn't exist here. That's the thing about it. People can feel however they want to feel, and they're completely valid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you feel disregarded, if you feel unappreciated, if you feel unaccepted, that is perfectly fine because that's how you feel. But how you feel is not always the reality of the situation. If you go outside right now and you see these protests, there are more women and gay men, gay women, all black. They're the ones out in the field right now. Black men are terrified to go outside.
Yeah.
And the ones that are, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, after this, motherfuckers really can't say shit to y'all. You know what I'm saying? They really can't say shit. Y'all the ones fighting for us. But that's what all this is for. That's what this fighting is for. So we can change the conversation. So we can change the narrative. So we can own the history here. All this fighting is so when we finally get that chance to control the narrative, you will know about the black women, the black trans people, the black gay people that are out here marching, that are fighting. That's the whole purpose of this. That's why we're fighting. And to any other black males that, I'm sorry, you haven't been fucking checked, but the world is changing, my nigga. And trust me, it will go on without you. Because it's going to get to a point where you can be condemned for the shit that you get away with. I saw it on video the other day. I don't know if y'all saw this shit. The guy that hit old girl with the skateboard because she rejected him or whatever.
Yeah, that weird shit.
Yeah, made me mad. I was streaming when I saw that video.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
I watched that whole video.
There's a lot of things that things are popping up right now. A lot of dudes
and
mistreating
it's a lot
women.
Of chaos, bro.
Yeah,
right now,
it's fucking
it is
weird.
a lot
that's
of
a lot
chaos.
of weird energy,
but
weird
you know
activity,
what it is, though?
bro.
It all comes, and it always stems down from motherfuckers' upbringings and shit, and the environment of their upbringings. You know.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, all this, if we're talking about mental health and why mental health is so important and why acknowledging that shit, you know, we got to make it okay for motherfuckers to come out about their mental health. You know, because it's just deep rooted. We're still slaves mentally. You know what I'm saying? There should be no reason why men should think hitting a girl is cool, but then you look at that nigga's background, he's from the fucking hood. Who's in the hood? All black niggas and black single parents. How we get there? You know what I'm saying? And it goes, it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it's like, we have to have these conversations. Let's talk about why systemic racism is the reason why a lot of black men are fucked in the head.
Yeah.
Why these fucking neighborhoods are the way that they are. Man, it gets deep. But we can't have these conversations if we're trying to divide the priority. You know? We can't have these conversations if, one, we divide the priority and not have the conversations for the general population. Because the thing about it is, we have to understand and we have to accept that there will always be the people that are going to be left out of the conversations. There are, because we can't get to everybody. But at the same time, we can't invalidate those people as either. When we have these conversations, we have to include these people. There are going to be hella people we forget when we have these conversations, when we change the new world order and shit like that. Not everybody has the same upbringing. Not everybody has the same access to knowledge. Niggas can say Google all they want, but there's still motherfuckers that don't know how to use computers.
Yeah.
Oh, just Google it, just Google it, just Google it. Excuse the fuck out of me? If you have the information ready, give it to me. The moment you decide, and I'm gonna say this shit right now, the moment you decide to make an effort to spread awareness, it is your job to teach.
Right.
That probably was the dumbest shit I've seen people say in the last week from that NoName J. Cole debacle. Oh, just Google it. Bitch, don't you have the information?
Right.
Give
you
it
know
to
so
me.
much.
You know so much. Tell me.
Bitch,
the moment you, and not even just when I say bitch, I'm not talking about a woman. I'm talking about everybody.
Yeah.
Cause niggas want to be smart too and start pandering to women and shit all of a sudden. When those same niggas disrespected women too. Let's talk about it. All these niggas wearing capes and shit. Y'all niggas are the same niggas that was disrespecting women too. Don't give me that bullshit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The moment you decide to fight for something and you start being vocal about something, it is your job to teach. Who the fuck are you preaching to? You know what I'm saying? Teachers.
Facts.
Teachers are there to literally teach people who don't know what they're there to be taught for. Why would somebody want to teach people who are already on their side and already know what they're talking about? That makes no fucking sense to me. Who am I talking to? Yes men? You know what I'm saying? The moment you decide to fight for something and you decide to speak on shit and you're very knowledgeable about it, it is your job to teach. Because who are you talking to? People who already know what you're talking about? You're just wasting breath at that point. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to talk about something, and you're going to spread awareness to it, and you have all the information out to it, it is your job to teach. It don't matter what gender, what orientation, it don't matter. It's your job to teach. Because who are you talking to? You can't have a rally of people and expect all these people to already know what the fuck you're talking about. You know how many times Martin Luther King and Malcolm X had to talk to people to get those big fat ass crowds you saw to them?
They had to talk to themselves.
They had to talk, bro. They had to talk to themselves.
They had to get an understanding between themselves.
Exactly. There's no way you can expect a big ass. There's genuinely no way you can expect the world to to change and hear you out if you aren't willing to give them the information that you have access to. What people have to understand is education and information is a privilege. Yes, everybody has access to Google, but yes, you also remember there are people that control these narratives as well. Right? There are people with grandparents that are still alive from back then. Not everybody was there for that situation. You have old people coming out and telling their grandchildren about this shit. Those same grandchildren are speaking up about this shit. But only they have access to their grandparents. You can't... Your grandparent is a fucking on Google. Right?
Definitely not.
They're not on fucking Google. You're not going to find your fucking... If you go on Google right now, the only black activists you see are the people that were well documented. There were hundreds of people in the fucking rallies. Millions of motherfuckers fighting that are still alive to this day. Not everybody has access to your grandfather, to your grandmother. But you do. Spread the information. Teach. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers always want to talk about, oh, you should know this shit. No, nigga, do you not realize the last 400 years were all about taking our fucking history away from us? Even in schools now, there should be no reason why the fuck I'm finding out about shit on Twitter versus what school. So if you have access to information and you want to talk about shit, you want to speak up about these injustices, it is your job to teach. The moment you open your fucking mouth about this shit, you're teaching people. Who the fuck are you talking to if you're not teaching people? I ain't know we like wasting fucking oxygen.
Oh, bro, you know they love wasting time. I don't even know why you said it.
I didn't know we like that. When I'm talking to people and when I'm having these conversations, I'm not talking to people who already know what I'm talking about. This whole podcast. You know what I'm saying? This gonna sound weird as hell, but don't take it in no disrespect. I don't give a fuck about the people that know what I'm talking about. They're not who I'm talking to.
They already know what's up.
They know what the fuck is going on. They know my body. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the people who don't know me, who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and don't know what the fuck's going on. The people who don't know are the people that I'm talking to. Not the people that know me. Not the people that care about me. No, I'm not talking to y'all. Because y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know we were holding knowledge. We're over here talking about unity when we're over here holding knowledge from each other all because Google exists. What?
It's a very elitist. It's an elitist mindset.
When were we being elitist about being black? What? How can you be elite and black? Even black celebrities have to sit in the fucking kiddie table. They tell you that themselves. Come on, man. What are we doing? So that's why I looked at all this bullshit recently in the last couple weeks. It's like a moment of divide, damn near. Because we all should be on the same page. Yeah, there's gonna be some bad apples. Fuck them. Hold them niggas accountable. We're done. Next. You know what I'm saying? There should be no reason why we're fucking pondering and sticking on to these people who are already being condemned. Fuck them. On to the next one. Treat this shit like a checklist. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got this nigga out of here for abusing this girl. Check. Next. We shouldn't have to keep bringing these niggas up. Condemn these niggas. Hold them accountable. Put them niggas in jail. Fuck them. We're done. Next. The world is changing right now. Adapt. That's all I gotta say on it. All I gotta say on it. That whole man. I was reading all that bullshit, and it was just like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why? Why are we having a conversation? Why are we having a conversation about what gender in the same shitted on race has it worse? We all have it bad. We all have it bad. We all have it bad. We are from the same hood, dog. If we're not from the same hoods, our grandparents are from the same fucking slave masters. That shit hurts saying, actually. Wow. But come on, bro. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is a part of the plan. They put us in these situations so we can go at each other.
It's all about division. That is what it's been about since day one. It's always been about division, whether it's on a grand scale or minuscule scale. You get in between them, you divide them, and then you sit on the sidelines and conquer. That is what they do. That's how they got it done. That's how they're still getting it done. We cannot. I'm not bashing on, trans lives matter, black gays matter. We can't focus on that right now because we have to get to the base of the problem so we can focus on that. Because nothing is going to matter until all Black lives matter.
We have to change the outside before we change the in. Because we have to make the outside comfortable for the inside to be changed. It's all about the environment. You can't change your habits. You can't change your lifestyle if your environment is shit.
Yeah.
So if you look at America, it's like America is ran by the white people. It's not you're not comfortable being black anything. Black males aren't comfortable going outside. Black women aren't comfortable going outside. Black gay people, black trans, they're not comfortable going outside. They're not comfortable living their lives because of the environment that we're in. You have to change the environment so you can change inside. We can't have these conversations until we're all good. When we're all good, then we can finally start killing the shit in the inside.
Mm-hmm.
When put this shit akin to like you moving out for the first time, right? When you move to a whole different neighborhood, right? Shit starts looking different to you. You know what I'm saying? When I moved out here on my own, right? My priorities changed. How I handled my emotions and myself changed because I'm by myself. I don't have the cushion of my family. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning how to be Nick. Now that my environment has changed, I'm not condemned by my family anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I have to change my inside now because my outside is different. I'm not in the same one room. I'm in an apartment. Right? Now I can focus on this. But that's what's important. You have to change your environment before you change who you are. And we have to change this country so we can combat, so we can feel comfortable combating these men that condemn our women, these women not feeling comfortable and confident in themselves despite them influencing the fucking world. Right?
Yeah. That's absolutely correct.
And these gays and trans people who feel like they can't be themselves. We have to change this. We have to change this. And it starts from, as much as people say it starts from the inside can only do so much when the outside is just as bad.
Yeah.
You have to change the environment. Then we can change the inside. Then we can combat these issues within our community. Then we can change these neighborhoods. We can change these upbringings. We can change that. It all starts because we aren't the enemy here. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why we're the enemy to ourselves is because the enemy made it that way. There's a reason why
outside made it
there's
that
a
way.
reason why black women were treated the way that they were back then, and why they have like this humongous distaste towards black men who were also treated a certain way. This shit was done by formula, my nigga. This is planned for them. This whole back and forth within the community is planned. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it planned, it's deep rooted. This shit hurts talking about this. Because it's very real. You know what I'm saying? It's very real. Very fucking real, dog. It all... This shit... There are slave masters right now laughing in their fucking grave when they see black women and black men attacking each other. Because they know. They don't think we have sense for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at them. They're attacking each other. Oh, look at those. I can't even say it because we're going to get demonetized.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. They knew this shit. They knew this shit was... Man. It's up to us to break these cycles, bro. Start holding our own accountable. And we really got to fight the outside first. Because fighting on the inside while we're fighting the outside is unorganized.
We gonna get tired. And we gonna fall
Tired.
apart.
And we
gonna
fall
get
back.
killed.
And I want you to know, for anybody watching this, for anybody that hears my words, if you think things are gonna go back to normal, if you think these white people are gonna let you niggas walk around like nothing happened after all this bullshit, you are wrong. It will get worse.
Absolutely wrong.
It will get worse. So keep fighting. Keep putting pressure on these niggas' necks. Because guess what? If you stop, it's gonna get worse.
Yep.
So don't stop. Because for as long as I'm alive, they gonna have to kill me. They gonna have to kill me. I'm a freedom nigga first, if anything. You know what I'm saying? I live freedom by a whole different means. Imagine being free literally. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? We fighting. We fighting a fight. We fighting a fight that we're in a moment in history. I was just talking to Mikey about this shit. We're in a moment in our lives right now where this is where our ancestors are like, yes, keep doing this. Cause they can feel the change coming. I was just talking to Mikey. I'm like, you see all these people online, and you see these people speaking up about this shit, and you start seeing like remnants of like people who've already passed in them. Like spirits are talking through these people and shit like that. And I was just like, they're looking at us right now, like, yes, this is it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing this shit. Keep doing this. They're looking at us like, bro, come on. And it's up to us to finish this. We got to finish this shit. We still got a long way to go, even if we think we won. There's no reason we should be divided, y'all. Come on, bro. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Come on, bro. We can't be doing this. We cannot be doing this. Black women, black gays, black trans, we know about y'all. We know.
See y'all.
We see y'all. We hear and we love. You know what I'm saying? We here. We are here. I'm sorry for whatever upbringing, whatever old-fashioned, traditional bullshit you had to go through. The world is changing to adapt to you. Remember that. Gay women and gay men and all the people who are into like fashion and shit, I want you to know you are the trendsetters. You influence the world a lot more than you think you do. Black men, you are feared. I want you to know that they don't look at you like you're below them. The moment they know that you rise up against them, they lose. You are feared. That's why they're scared of you. Yeah. Remember your roots. Everybody. Remember. Before we came over here, we were kings. You know what I'm saying? Before that, pharaohs. You know what I'm saying? We were here. We black people influence the world a lot more than motherfuckers give us credit for. And I'm glad that we are finally understanding that. But it's about accepting and embracing that. That's the issue. Us knowing is half the battle. We have to live that.
Mm-hmm.
But just know, you exist. And it's not by chance that you exist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You were here to live. You were here to prosper. You were here to literally be. You know what I'm saying? Don't take life for granted because we live in this fucking green, this blue fucking bubble. You exist. People forget how big nothing is. But you exist. Embrace that. Live it. Nobody can tell you otherwise, my nigga. And I'm gonna keep it a brick with you. The next time I see some motherfucker on the timeline, I'm gonna start looking at you niggas different. Y'all better start beating these motherfuckers' ass, real talk. I'm gonna keep it a brick with you. Y'all be sitting here recording these people. Oh, look at her. You fucking nigga. Yeah, okay, yeah. Say it again. Look, I'm gonna get you on camera. I'm gonna beat your ass as soon as this shit is done. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, say that. Yup, yup, okay. I'm done recording. Come here. Put your phone away. Come here, dog. Come here,
Let me talk to you real quick. I just want to talk.
Real talk. Motherfuckers recording these videos are too nice. Or maybe I'm too violent.
Nah. It's a time for recording, and then most of the time there's a time for whooping ass.
I'm for both.
I'm
like
also
a lot of
for both, but
a lot of the things that happen when they escalate to certain points, I don't think they need to escalate that far, because you could have just beat his ass, and whatever happened
Niggas
would
are
have
scared
happened.
to fight, bro.
Well, I understand why. Like, you know, when I say that in like a thing to
well, the thing is that goes back to changing the outside. So if we get X person on video spouting this and that, and we whoop their ass, we call the police. Guess who's getting arrested?
Us.
or killed.
We're getting arrested.
Yeah.
That's just that's. I mean, arrested is the bare minimum. We getting our ass beat and possibly even killed.
Now
But
we gotta change the out.
if we change the outside, then we'll have a better chance at surviving that thing, surviving this racist encounter, because now the outside sees it as, oh shit, yeah, this motherfucker's racist. You had every right to stand your ground.
Ass.
Yep.
You had every right to stand your ground because you felt threatened. That's how the outside needs to look at these things, because that's how they do it to us. I saw a video this morning where this guy, he was in North Carolina or South Carolina. It was an open carry state, and he had his gun and he's just existing. 8 policemen got called on him, and he was surrounded, and he was recording. And not all of them, just one of them had his hand on his gun, and he addressed it. He was like, "Why is your hand on your gun?" He was like, "For my safety." From what?
Right?
It's 8-1. I'm not that stupid to where I'm going to do something. I'm just out here existing.
You say, I don't care.
And the thing is, the Second Amendment thing, it's only for them. It literally is only for them. Because if it's a law that everybody goes by, but black people get called on it, then who is this law really for? And having people get the police called on them for exercising their Second Amendment rights just shows that it's not for us. That law did not have us in mind. So the thing is, like Nick said, we have to change the outside in order to change the inside. Because if the outside sees what we see and sees things how we see it, then this whole world would be a million times better. Because everything would be just. Everything would be correct. Just like, okay, you see your neighbor beating on his wife or some shit like that. We can't call the police because we know one of them is gonna have to die. Because that's what the outside has. Because if the police come and it's violent, they're not going to de-escalate the situation. They're going to escalate it until they can kill somebody and have less paperwork to do at the end of the day. That's how we view America. That's how America is. America has not shown us any different. So that's why we can't hold our people accountable for the stupid shit that they do, because we know the punishment is not going to fit the crime. 9 times out of 10, the punishment will never fit the crime because the punishment will always be death. Nobody deserves to die because they're beating on, somebody else's wife. That sucks to say, but that's not the punishment that deserves that crime. Yes, lock him up, put him in jail, get him help. Get him help. Or beat his ass, then get him help. But don't kill him. Because I do 100% believe that any man that puts his hands on a woman needs to get his ass beat. You will learn what to do with your hands, whether it is by force or whether it is by, it's going to be by force. But people need to learn what they do with their hands, but they don't have to die for it. And that's why we as a black people, we can't call the police. We can't snitch. I don't like that term snitching, because if you feel what it is, it's right, then it's not snitching. If somebody's legitimately doing something bad and you go and tell on them, it's not snitching. That's the problem we have in our communities, because everybody's a snitch. When something goes down, don't nobody want to say anything because they're afraid of snitching. Fuck that. If you legitimately see something bad going on, you got to tell somebody, whether it's a neighbor or a big homie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We have to hold our people accountable, but at the same time, we can't, because there isn't a due process for holding our people accountable. The only process that we have is death, and that hurts. That hurts so much to say. And it sucks. So we have to change the narrative outside so that within we can get a better outcome for holding our own people accountable. And that's all I got to say.
Well, that actually goes into what I wanted to talk about in our own little circle. To be honest, because y'all know me, I'm a content creator, a gaming nigga first, and then on my side job, I'm a black activist. I was like midstream. I was recording. I think it was episode. I think it was. And I'm gonna get the information so I can tell everybody where to go if they want to get it themselves. But I wanted to talk. What's the episode? Episode 8 of the Storm Silver Egg Lock around, I want to say, the 1 hour, was it the 1 hour, 24 minute, 12 second mark? I was talking about black people in the content creator space because somebody had said me and Nexus are underrated. Now, if you know me, and you know my history, people have been saying me and X have been underrated for years.
Right.
Even like years. For years. And I was telling them that me and Nexus actually had a conversation about that recently. And, one thing that 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 we talked about was being black, and why being black might be the reason why we're so underrated. And we're talking about just how black content creators are looked at, how the industries and these companies kind of condemn them. Not only that, how we as a people condemn each other out of jealousy, out of laziness, shit like that. Like, black people don't support black people.
Crabs in a bucket.
Yeah. And it was just like, I was telling them, like, you know, a lot of people have a humongous bias towards white content creators. And you may not think about it like that, right? You may think because of recent times, like, nah, I watch black content creators, but look at how many successful black content creators we have in the gaming space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really think about it. A lot of people, black people included, have more of a bias towards white content creators than they think they do. Right? And a lot of audience have a lot of bias as well. Like, I literally tweeted this out earlier. I was like, until you admit that you have a bias towards white content creators over blacks, due to lack of representation, I'll keep talking about it. There's hella black content creators out here doing the same things, if not better, but you don't see them, and it could be from either their community not being as big, not spreading them out via word of mouth to their friends or whatever, or their community's support not being enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or companies blackballing or ducking working with them because they're either too black or fit a certain stereotype, which I had happen to me, or they're being compared to one another, right? There are a lot of black people, there are a lot of pinnacle black people that are being compared to smaller black people. It's like, why would I watch so-and-so when I can watch an Etika video? You know what I'm saying? Or why would I watch so-and-so when I can watch an Afro Senju video? Why would I watch so-and-so? People already found their already established black content creators. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't give them that same opportunity, that same look as they would so-and-so. They being compared to each other. You know how many people compare me and Nexus to each other, despite me and Nexus being so close? Right? And I was like, I had to look at myself. Like, whole time I didn't notice I inherently had a bias until I got older. You don't see a lot of black people doing creating shit. But that's because you don't see it. Doesn't mean it's not there, right?
Yeah.
Until you find them and you really just look, learn them, and just to find out these people, no matter how successful they are in what you might seem their craft, they're still experiencing the same black issues that I was. You know what I'm saying? Coming up and doing this for a long time. And now we have a situation where we don't want to, us as black people and black content creators and just black people in general, you have these people who don't want to work together because they are aware that people will play favorites, so they want all the eyes on them. It's a competition to them, right? So so here we are trying to fight for the eyes and the looks of not only the black audience, but the white audience as well. We're not working together because we see it as a competition. And these white people, these white content creators just get bigger and bigger because of the inherent representation that they have. And the more I think about what I was saying is the more truth it ends up being. And it sucks. Because I was thinking about it, I'm like, if you look at all the big black content creators, they all fit a certain stereotype. They're all one of a kind in their own right. Not because of them as a person, but because of the content they give, right? When you think of gaming, black, who comes to mind?
Afro.
Yeah, Corey
Kenson,
Berlizzi.
Etika, Berlizzi. Even if you're a 2K nigga, you have
Chris Smooth.
Yeah, Chris Smooth. You have your what's that nigga's name? You have Kaz. You have a Flight, right? And these are all people, like I said, who, and I don't want to disrespect them, right? Who are good in what they do, sure, but they're not the only one of their kind, is what I'm saying.
And you know what? I don't know if you guys, know these names, but Activision literally blackballed black people from Call of Duty.
Yep.
Because
yep.
if you go back to the Modern Warfare 2 days, Modern Warfare 3 days, you would see Jive Turkey, Hard 8, Big Snacks, Jay Easy.
What was that nigga's name that Ashley used to be obsessed with?
Chase.
Yeah, Chase is a Let's Player now.
Chase Money. I'm telling you.
I don't know any of these people.
Dog, these are OGs.
And you won't, because Activision blackballed black people because a bunch of the other scummy
say it.
YouTubers. I'm not gonna say it.
Say it. What they gonna do? Say it.
But they're all white. They're all white.
Oh.
And I'm not saying they're all scummy,
all scummy,
because I actually did have some friends that actually made it. But the thing is,
we know about those niggas. If you go back and do your research on the old Call of Duty days, there's niggas that obviously got exposed for the shit that they would say.
Right. And their content, the black, let's keep it on the black side, because I don't want to harp on, the other side, because we could do that all day.
Let's not be bitter.
But the black content creators in the Call of Duty community were absolutely one of a kind. And if you go look up Jive Turkey, if you go look up Big Snacks and Chase Money and Jay Easy, all of them had fire content. Good Call of Duty players, fire content, great conversations in their videos. Nobody was looking them up. They didn't get the rise. They didn't get the sponsorship opportunities that these other guys had. They just didn't. And I remember Snacks, he really, like, before everything fell apart, he really was a force to be reckoned with. He was the owner of Yoush. If anybody remembers Yoush, the network, when networks were really, really big and everybody's trying to get a part one, before
Yoush was full screen.
Yeah, before Yoush was full screen, he was one of the driving forces in that. It's black-owned business. He held on to his people, and I will respect him to the day I die for that, because he was the driving force for that community. And it wasn't even a black and white thing. It was really he was for the underdogs. He always was for the underdogs. So just for him allowing people to have that spot, for him to use that platform, was amazing at the time. But you have the drama alerts, and you have all these other things putting Yoush and Machinima at a divide to where he couldn't rise. So he was blackballed. And for the media at that time to put him against Machinima, which is still to this day a shitty fucking company,
for the last decade,
it made a divide within the Call of Duty community. It made a divide in the content creators community, that space. And everybody looked at Yoush like it was a redheaded stepchild. No offense to my redheaded stepchildren. Mm-hmm. But they got the shitty end of the stick because somebody didn't like what he was doing. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. because every opportunity that came his way, somebody else that was of the opposite skin color got that opportunity.
And more.
So, yes, being a content creator and being black and trying to make a movement within this YouTube space is almost
impossible.
Man, it's almost impossible. It really is almost impossible, and it sucks. It's extremely demotivating. It's just like you put yourself out there, and it's like, for what? So that's I don't know. It sucks. But back to what you were saying, Nick.
I mean, it added on. It added on to what I was saying. It added on back to my point. Actually, it's like it's like the black content creators that we do have, we hold to such a high regard that the other black creators can't shine, because as a audience, they compare each other to each other, right? Whereas
I feel as though
what?
Oh, finish what you were saying. Finish what you're saying.
Whereas if you look at like. There's so many people that look like fucking Jacksepticeye in 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's hella million subscriber channels that look like Jacksepticeye. With their own communities, with their own little everything or whatever. There's only one Afro Senju. There's only one Etika. And I don't think it's because, and I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to say because they're not special. Because they definitely put in the work, right? They definitely made a name for themselves. But you also got to think about the outside perspective also. Because that's where all this shit matters in the first place, right? Nobody cares about how much work you put in. They care about the end result. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, the whole notion of why would I watch so-and-so when I can watch so-and-so is the reason why a lot of content creators of the black skin color don't really shine that much. And I'm not even talking about me. There's people that make better. There's people of color that make better content than I do. I can say that wholeheartedly. But I noticed that or the one I'm thinking of in specific, he does a lot of the same thing that people like would compare Etika and Afro to. And that whole notion of why would I do this when I could just watch this is kind of killing his light damn near. You know what I'm saying? It stops him from being great. It stops him from being so-and-so because people are comparing people to people who... It sucks that you can't be black and by yourself is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
I can agree with that.
Like it sucks that I have to be compared to my friends who I know every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, coming up, I remember being compared to Nexus a lot, and he who shall not be named a lot. And it was kind of just like, damn, like, why? You know? Why is that? And unfortunately, it's because, shit, we were some of the only black people in the Pokemon community.
I was going to say, that's a big reason why.
And when you start comparing each other's content, it's like, damn, like, I like this about so-and-so. I don't like about this about so-and-so. I like this about so-and-so. I don't like... It's like you're comparing these friends to each other. So now these friends have to look at each other when it comes to content in, like, a weird way. You know?
Yeah.
Me and Nexus got into it one time, a long time ago, because we ended up doing the same series together. Who remembers that?
Which one?
Nobody knew about that. Nobody knew about that at all because I never said anything about it. Me and Nexus got into it because we held our content to such a distinct... You know what I'm saying? We had to have our own separate content because if we did it, people would compare us to each other more. You see what I'm saying?
Damn.
To the point...
It's about division.
Yeah, it's to the point where the content that we did had to be our own because people were already comparing us to each other to begin with.
So then if two content creators put out the same type of thing, then the viewers would put it as some type of disrespect, or he just did this because he was trying to do that.
Yes, So I'm gonna just say it. Fuck it. Whenever Nappy would do like that bullshit where he would like he put out a whole playthrough or whatever, and he gassed his shit up, right? We could never gas our own shit up because other people would shit on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't elaborate that for me, right? So like, how would you gas it up and then people would shit on that? Like, what was the playback or the playbook or whatever it's called?
Look at how those release date playthroughs were done.
Okay.
Look how many people flocked to him first, and then everybody else afterwards. Right?
Right.
People were already playing favorites within the group. They were comparing each other in the group to each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they were already like discounting everybody else to begin with. And people could chalk it up regarding, oh, it's because he made better content, but that's what I'm saying. Because nobody made bad content in the group. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody made bad content. There's a reason why everybody got to where they got to. You could argue you enjoyed more. That's fine, right? But to completely disregard everybody else for one person, even towards me, there's people who don't like everybody. There's people who didn't like people in my group, but only liked me, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that shit's fucked up because now, one, I have to focus on differentiating myself when we all do the same thing. And not only that, my friends feel threatened because now I have to be on kill mode towards them. You know? It's always a competition at the end of the day. We're fighting for these clicks. We're fighting for these views. Us being the only black content creators in the space is hard as shit because people are comparing these black people to each other. These black friends to each other who make the same jokes, who make the same content. You know?
Yeah.
And they're being vocal about it. People see that. There can never be multiple black content creators being great is what I'm saying.
I have something on that. I'll be right back.
I kind of want to hear what he want to say. Nigga just left. But no, then I think that's what fucking sucks about being a black content creator. Is because not only do we have the industry against us, we have our own people comparing us to us. Then we have our audience comparing us to us. And only a small minority is really getting the support despite everybody being underrated. How many black underrated content creators do you know of versus how many successful black content creators do you know of?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. If you compare the two, it's a lot. There are way more underrated black content creators than there are big. But why is that?
Because there's too much comparing going on and not enough watching. Like they act like this one person is only worth the 10-minute span of my viewing. And what's crazy is not even a lot of them, they compare so much that they don't even watch the person they're comparing to. Like, obviously, let's just give like Afro for a comparison. So somebody just watches Afro and they look at the thumbnail or you know, when Afro did the face cam thumbnails, and they'll see another one and then they'll just be like, well, he's just being like Afro. I'm not going to watch that when I can watch Afro. So these other content creators, when they do like, and what's crazy is YouTube is set up for people to fail automatically because these types of thumbnails, these types of trends that, you know, when people upload, that's what gets the views and that's what gets the clicks.
So if they're playing favorites off trends,
yeah,
then fuck
if
it.
they play favorites off trends, which is literally the algorithm, Like YouTube is the algorithm is trends. So whenever the algorithm changes, you have to change your style or your thumbnail or however you title your
to
videos
completely
and
match whatever's working. And so therefore, you're
Right.
already over here being compared to. You're automatically being compared, and now
to somebody else.
And now your
and then when
audience is
somebody
comparing
else just
you.
changes the algorithm and they adapt to the algorithm, then that means everybody else is following suit and being a copycat,
So
and
what about
nobody wants to
Twitch?
watch a copycat.
What about Twitch?
Twitch, that's a whole different monster in itself. Twitch is literally click whatever game you want to see, and then they're just watching who's ever got the most views.
Yeah, I was gonna say Twitch is because I can speak on both platforms for that, but relevant to Twitch's issue, I don't think Twitch's issue is the whole. Twitch proves your point, and will proves my point too. But point being that TBH said it first for me to hear it, was that a lot of content creators, just like you mentioned, there's a fear for black men in general, right? Black men naturally have or other nationalities naturally fear black men for whatever reason, their life or
We are
anything like that.
powerful. That's why they fear us.
Right.
We
And
are
so,
powerful.
in terms of content creation, if you were to compare 3, 4, 5 content creators on Twitch, and they're all doing the same thing, they all play the same game, whatever the case may be, I promise you there will be more entertainment in that black content creator than that white content creator with triple the views. And that doesn't necessarily, like, I don't want to bring it into like this, oh man, black people are better than white people. Like, it's not that, but it's literally the fact of the matter is that entertainment comes in a variety of things, and there are a lot of naturally entertaining people that just happen to be black on the platform, both platforms, but they don't get the shine they do. In Twitch's case, they don't get the shine not because they're black, they don't get the shine because Twitch's searchability and the way you find people in general, you find new streams, is fucking stupid. You know, just like Mikey said, when you click a category, it's the top viewers first. Now they've changed it, and it's only if it's only if you're on Twitch a lot. It's by your what you like. They're trying to do an algorithm thing now. Yeah, so now I'm seeing people, because I like looking at lower viewers. I don't like watching a lot of people with 100 something viewers or whatever, unless I just naturally follow them on social media, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. So it shows me lower viewers or medium viewers first. Your light is bright as hell.
He's just talking to me, dog. You're talking to me, bro. I'm talking.
But now it shows me that, right? Medium viewers, lower viewers, whatever, and then I see more content creators that way. But on YouTube is not that way at all. YouTube is favored in a sense of whoever's bigger is already bigger. And you were talking about it earlier when you said that we already have an Afro, we already have a Burleezy, we already have a Corey, and to imitate or even to attempt to do something that you find similar to them is immediately imitation, and that falls at fault for both the black community that as content creators. It falls at fault for them as a black community. It also falls at fault for YouTube itself. I primarily blame the viewer base, the community overall. The reason I say that is because we don't need, right, like for instance, we don't need 2 Corys. We don't need 2 Corys. We don't need 2 Afros. But having horror content as your basis for your channel, doing horror content, doing anime or being a Naruto fanboy, anything of the sort doesn't automatically equal top content creator, right? I love Naruto. Do I do Naruto on my channel? No, I can't do that. It's automatically gonna make me like a copy of Afro, right? Oh man, I love doing live streams where I just talk and fuck off and stream. Oh, you got a flat top though? Copy of Etika, bro. You can't do it now. And I'm like, it doesn't automatically make me a copy of anybody because I just happen to enjoy those things. There are thousands, hundreds of people that watch these content creators. You watch them because you have the same interest. So why can't other content creators have that same interest and do similar content in their own style or whatever it is, right? And they're looked at it as a clone or a copycat or whatever. I see it all the time. I see these the other day, it has nothing to compare it to, but it's weird. Lotus posted a tweet about how someone said his laugh sounds like Caleb City's evil laugh or whatever, and I'm like, this is the same type of comment that people get just off their content alone. Like subpar, like push away his laugh. You know, they compare other content creators to other black content creators. We already have a small pool of black content creators as it is. We as black content creators, the same thing as black people, we already have to find a way to stand out against other black people, and then we got to stand out against everybody else on YouTube. And that's the issue, right? So we as people, like, once again, it's a crab in a bucket mentality. I don't know why black people have it, but we have it the worst. Nobody can succeed if everybody is trying to pull the other person down to get to the top. You know, the ones that are already at the top, it's like, cool, I watched this person because they're there, they made it. You can't get there though. Who is that? Nick can't go there. No, he can't be at the top. You know, Nappy's already at the top. Nick can't go to the top. Well, why not? Because if I want to watch Pokemon, I'll watch so and so because he's already XXX subscribers. It's like, you shouldn't have that mentality. You shouldn't enforce that mentality, and you shouldn't push it on anybody else. That should not be a comment that comes out of your mouth for whatever reason. But ultimately, I don't think that's a YouTube. I don't think that's a YouTube fault. I think that's a us fault. Not like us as in the content creator, but, you know, like the people, black people. That.
We don't support each other either.
That's the key. And you can't force them to.
Yeah.
Us talking about this right now is literally us bitching.
No, literally. Oh, that's that ass what I said. In that stream, I was like, you know, what's crazy is that, like, unless you know who I am, unless you know of me, you would see this video, you would see this live stream, and you would think that I'm complaining, that I'm whining, that I'm ungrateful, that I'm all this extra shit.
Yep.
That the people that know me know I'm not. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And on YouTube and just content creation in general, we have this taboo where you can't speak to your subscribers like they're, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like regular ass people, or they're like
I do it all the time. Fuck that.
Whatever. Because in the minds of the many, you should be grateful that you have the shit in the first place, because there are other people who
don't have it.
Who don't have it. But it's like to say that is completely invalidating the feelings of said person that is complaining in the eyes or whatever. But for me, I always saw it as, I'm not telling you this shit to get you to support me more. I'm telling you this shit for you to understand what your support does, or lack thereof. Right?
That's the big thing right there, is the lack of support. Like, your support does a tremendous amount. Your lack of support does even more. So that's the fact that you watch the videos, you're here, you don't comment, you don't like, you don't share. And it's like not even a mandatory.
And the fact that you see me talking to you about that, right, as me complaining, shows me that you already, as a human being, don't respect me.
Yeah. Their mentality about it is
you just see me as a regular ass nigga on the screen.
Not even regular. They see you as, it's the same thing with people, that phase that we had. I think it was like last year, middle of last summer or something like that. People were bitching about all these streamers. Oh man, streaming is not a real job. Anybody could play games, you know, turn on a camera, turn on a webcam, and just play games all day. You guys are lucky. You don't have to come out here and bust your ass and be in the sun all day. You don't have a real job, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're invalidating me as like my career or my hobby, whatever it is I do that I make money from. You're invalidating
because
that.
You feel
as though you could just simply do it. You know, it's not as important.
If it was that easy,
everybody would be doing it. You see everybody trying to do it, and they can't.
If it was that easy, you wouldn't see as the billions of fucking channels being made that stay at 20 subscribers for 3 years.
Yeah, you know,
how many
I've got
channels
a
just
couple
sit
of
there
friends.
with uploads on that bitch? Don't do that shit to me,
bro. I got a couple of friends that have spent 1K almost of equipment for making a YouTube, doing content, and have gotten nowhere past 100 subscribers. You know, and it's like, you've been doing this for years. I'm not gonna tell you to quit. I want you to succeed. You know, I'm telling you the secrets on how to do it, or what I've been studying, what might work and what should work. That's the type of friend that I am. But that's not up to me. Like, I can't give you, you know, 1,000 subscribers and they're all there for every video. I can't make 1,000 people watch your video. That's a them thing. That's an 1,000 people thing. And so I get what you're saying about, you know, when we're talking to them, it makes it seem as though like we have to talk to them as or we can't talk to them as regular people. But that's why I say fuck that. When my people come in my stream, or when my community's in the stream, or they're in the Discord, you know, and they're asking me, hey bro, are you gonna play fuck, I don't even have a game that are you gonna play the new Black Panther game? Nah man, you know, last time I tried to play one of those Marvel games, it didn't really do good on the channel. Oh, what does that mean, man? I'll be here. All right, cool. That's your one to the 100 that watch everything else, right? Like I'll upload a fucking Pokemon video and everybody's here for it. Everybody's commenting. I upload Black Panther. None of you are here to be seen, including you. You might watch and you might like it, but there's no comments, there's no shares. So it's like the support that you want, or the video, the content that you want, whatever it is, has to come with support. In order for me to do that, I need like support behind it. You know, I can't do attack number 1 if you're not using helping hand. It's not going to work for me. You have to be there to support that or help out at least, right? And so I say it all the time in stream, yo, bring your sisters in the chat, bring your moms, whatever. But that's my way of telling people, bring your friends, share the stream, tweet the stream out, you know, share it in whatever Discord you're in that allows that. Tell your friends like, oh man, this guy that I watch, he's, you know, playing Final Fantasy 7. He's on the final boss. It's his first time, whatever. Like share those hype moments. Don't just keep the hype moments within the community. You want other people to enjoy and experience that, you know, that hype moment, that sad moment, whatever it is. Share that shit. I tell them all the fucking time, bro, because I'm not afraid to say it. I'm just not. You know, no one's gonna come at me and be like, bro, you're ungrateful. Ungrateful for what? You not doing something that I'm asking you to do, or you not doing something that you're not gonna do, had no intentions on doing, and you just want something to bitch about. You want to bitch back. That's what it is. If I'm bitching, you literally want to bitch back. That is all it is.
I noticed the people who say that are the ones that are offended the most. They're the ones that you're talking about.
Yeah, because they're not doing it.
I was saying that on live. I was explaining like my views, my thoughts on it, and somebody who I've only seen in the comments one time. One was like
the same motherfuckers. They're always there on your fucking update videos.
He was like, you're looking at it wrong, and I said, wait a minute, I'm looking at it correctly, because those same people who are there for my update videos aren't there for my actual videos.
Yup.
And the reason why you probably think like that is because you are the exact same person I'm referring to. You're the one that isn't around, that doesn't support. Maybe you got some shit going on in your life. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know. But
you're there for the updates.
Yeah, but you're here for the updates. You're here for when I'm contemplating quitting. You're here for I'm contemplating. You don't even watch the full video because the audience retention on update videos are fucking shit.
Yep.
I could upload a 10-minute video, a 20-minute update video, and only 4 minutes of that average view duration is watched.
I wish YouTube had a way to say when the comment was left, like a timestamp throughout the video.
Yeah, because a lot of niggas would be exposed for not watching the shit.
Yeah, you get comments that are like 30 seconds in, and I'm like, all right.
Like the reason why you think I'm thinking about this wrong is because you're the problem.
Yep.
You're the person that I'm talking to, and the reason why you feel like I'm attacking you or I'm coming at you is because you're guilty.
I say this a lot.
You feel bad.
If you throw a stone into a group of dogs, the only dog that's going to yell out is the one that got hit.
Yeah.
So if you say a blanket statement that's supposed to be, you know,
a generalization,
the person who thinks it's for them is going to speak out because they're the ones who feel like, wait, that's wrong. I'm not this, but you are because you're speaking out against it.
You got hurt. Your feelings.
You got hurt.
Exactly.
So at that point, you got to look at yourself and just be like, oh, well, shit. Maybe I am the problem.
But look,
you're not going to change it though. That's the issue.
But they're not willing to change, right?
That's what I was saying. I was like, you know, even after me spending a good 30 minutes on this topic, there are people who still gonna watch this video and not change their habits.
Yeah. They feel as though they don't have to.
And that's perfectly fine, right? Because you really don't have to. You've already in your head decided that you don't give a fuck about the content like that to begin with, because as easily as replaceable I am, because you've already compared me to other people.
Right.
I'm not special in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the people who see me complaining are the problem themselves.
Yeah.
Because for me to say, I'm not complaining at all. I'm giving you the information that your support does. I can tell you, it's like me giving you a decision, right? Me telling you this decision will affect these two things in your life, right? How you choose to go about this is just how you choose to go about it, and that's you.
Yeah.
Right? If
Yep.
I sit here and tell you, hey, you commenting on a video, you liking a video, you watching most, if not all, the video is helping the channel tremendously. If you still don't decide to do that, you just
don't care.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
Or you can't.
You literally-
There are people who genuinely just can't watch the full video. But
I understand not being
like
able
and
to
comment.
Right. And that's what I was gonna say. It's like there's a difference between not being able to help out or support, but still doing the most or what you can in the moment at least. And then people that just don't want to do it.
There are people who literally donate to me, and like the things that they say is like, yeah, I'm not always around like that because I have work and like lives and shit, because I have a very older audience, so they have kids, they have school, actual jobs and shit. Well, I do an actual job too, but they have like jobs that like
they have to leave home.
Yeah, they
for.
don't have to leave. They don't have leisure time like that for. So it's like I'm not around like that, but I do fuck with you. I support you. Here, take this, whatever I have to give you, and that be it. And I'm like, damn. Yeah, while the money's cool, I kind of wish that you were here.
You know
what I'm saying? Because you can make a lot of difference. That one person can make a lot of difference like that.
Yep.
But because you gave me this money, it's like, damn, am I going to be mad? Because the money was going to be the same result as you supporting me anyway.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't offend me that you want to be here, but you can't. That's a whole life situation, right?
Right.
It just like we were talking about the guy earlier that, they feel hurt. They're offended by it. That's what offends me. That's what hurts me, is that you acknowledge that you are the problem I'm speaking about, and then you continue to be the said problem I'm speaking about. At that point, just unsubscribe. In my personal opinion, go away. I don't want you here. I don't need the fake support. And it's not even saying like, oh man, I don't enjoy your content, I don't enjoy your company. It's literally, you are the type of person that I am continuing to talk about that is, in retrospect, hurting the channel. You're the person that clicks on the video, oh, this ain't what I want to watch. 15 seconds in and you're gone. You fucked up my retention time, right? You're the person that sees a video, maybe you'll watch it halfway through, you'll leave a comment that has nothing to do with the video, and then you're on about your way. I'm like, all right, whatever, hey bro, the comment that I'm leaving today, are you gonna play X game? Hey, when are we gonna get X game? You were asking shit that is completely fucking irrelevant to the video, or is answered in the video itself. You just didn't watch long enough to find out your answer. So now I'm looking at an irrelevant comment that was already answered. I just don't want to respond to it.
And now you
Why would you do that?
Because I feel disrespected.
Yeah, I answered your question, specifically your question, in this 7-10 minute video. You couldn't even get through that. That's why I wish we had timestamps. Hey man, are you gonna pick up Let's Plays again? Bro, I answered that at exactly 8 minutes and 26 seconds, and you left this comment at 42 seconds. What the fuck? Like, come on. But I don't know. We have those type of people. It's weird. Like, even with me in particular, and I usually don't like name dropping or whatever, so I'm gonna refrain from doing too much. But Friday. No, today's Saturday, right? Yeah,
Saturday.
Friday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I think Thursday, the night before.
Asleep. I'm over here dying.
I think the night before Last of Us came out, I made a very strong opinion. You're probably gonna have to censor this. I don't think that shiny hunting is content. I don't like it.
Nigga, fuck that bullshit. I said that shit openly.
All right, cool. I can say what the fuck I want then.
Creator, bro, you were playing YouTube on easy mode. That shit is boring as fuck.
Cool. All right, as long as
easy, that shit is trash. That shit is disgusting. The fact
all right,
that,
thank you.
Man,
So that's what I said. That's what I said on stream. I said I don't think that it's content creation. Like, content creator can do shiny hunting, but solely having a channel that is like 100% shiny hunting, you're not creating content. You're literally, and this is where I was talking about the DMCA because somebody brought it up, and I said the Pokemon community is probably the most affected. Like, in my Twitter feed, they're the most vocal about the DMCA right now in my Twitter feed. Wow. Because they only play, like, all they do is let Spotify and iTunes play in the background. They sit there in silence for, like, 5-10 minutes or whatever. They might say a word here or there. They sing along with the song, or they bop their head to the song, and then they get hyped 12 hours in after they find the shiny. I'm like, I'm not watching 12 hours of a music stream. I have my own Spotify account. I could just go listen to my own music. I don't need to be here to see the reveal, because you're going to clip it. You're going to post it on Twitter. You're going to post it on YouTube. And then I'll get the fake hype from that 20-second, 30-second clip. Like, that's why I don't like it personally. I don't agree that it's shiny, or that it's shiny. I don't agree that shiny hunting is content creation. You could find something else to do with that. But the way that I described what I was talking about,
shiny hunting, bro. Niggas know my body, bro. Bro, niggas don't like me because
dog, because I have friends that do it. I have friends that shiny hunt, and I'm like, I still love my friends, right? They're cool people. No, you guys can shiny hunt all you want to. Like, I'm not coming at you, bro. I just don't.
I'm gonna say this right now, dog. People gotta stop being offended over what the fuck you think. It shouldn't matter, my nigga. I'm gonna say this right now. If you are a Pokemon content creator and you are doing what each other is doing and shit like that, and another person disagrees and or does not care about what you're doing, my nigga, you are not that important. You shiny hunt. Bitch, that is easy.
Damn.
That is easy.
You ain't gotta do it like that, bro.
That is easy. And for you to get mad at me saying that shit's easy, my nigga, you make it seem like you are special. I can go live right now. You know how many people want me to shiny hunt, Yoku? I can go live right now and I have 100 people. I can go live right now and have 100 people trying to watch me fucking shiny hunt a fucking starter Pokemon.
For literally. No goddamn reason. And I don't understand. Like, why is that?
Boring.
That's just boring.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, especially and they get as mad. A content creator, that's the most boring.
People get mad because you say that's boring. I'm like, dog, me sitting in the fucking chair for what? 4 or 5 hours a day.
It's way longer than that, dog.
I would much rather play a game where I'm like immersed in, I'm doing some shit.
It's interactive. I can commentate over it.
I can commentate. I can talk back and forth with the chat. Than having a fucking just chatting stream. Really, it's really a just chatting stream.
Mm-hmm. Listen, this is how much I don't like doing shiny hunting. I did it for Let's Go because, in my opinion, Let's Go had the better version of shiny hunting, right? Because I didn't have to do shit. I could just literally catch 31 Pokemon, leave it the fuck alone. A shiny would pop up.
I'm about to cut you off.
No, let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I would rather, and you guys know I don't like sports, right? I would rather learn and enjoy NBA 2K 19, 20, play Madden 20, play hockey. I would rather play a sports game than shiny hunt for stream, like, ever again in my life. And I do not like sports games. I don't like racing games. I would much rather play any of those games than shiny hunt on stream. It is absurdly boring to sit there forever waiting on something, soft resetting something, doing the fucking left, right, up, down button motion combo to reset your game. I'm not doing that, bro.
Now watch this. I'm gonna keep it a big with you. Niggas is boring by themselves. Now wait. Hear me out. This is a moment. This is a moment.
Mikey, you gotta sense this whole thing, Mikey.
Fuck that bullshit. Mikey, you know me.
Nick is attacking.
You know me.
Attacking.
No, not even.
I ain't going on Twitch. It's going on YouTube.
I want this to be a moment of self-evaluation for me, real quick, right? And I want everybody watching this to listen and think about what the fuck I'm about to say, right? We live in a time in the Pokemon community, right, where collaboration works. Why do you think that is?
Because nobody can carry their own project by themselves.
Exactly.
I've said that on tweets. I've said that on multitude of times.
Now, let's go to shiny hunting. Shiny hunting is literally a just chatting stream, just Pokemon attached.
Mind you, where they don't just chat. By the way, they play music, but continue.
No, but that's what I'm saying. A just chatting stream. If you go to Twitch right now, a just chatting stream is the nigga with a full screen. Maybe he has his internet browser on. You know what I'm saying?
But there's music in the background, but he's talking.
He's talking to the chat. It's the
In a
exact
shiny
same,
hunting
it's the
stream,
exact same
them
thing.
niggas not talking.
No, and that's what I'm saying. These niggas are just talking to the chat whenever the chat is active, and they're selectively reading from the chat. It's a just chatting stream, just with Pokemon on the thing. We are in a time in the Pokemon community where niggas cannot do solo projects unless they're live. Why is that?
Because you need the chat. They have to have something to bounce off of. Nobody can carry their own stuff.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying niggas are boring. And the people that are like pillars now, they don't feel the need in doing single content no more. Because why?
They don't have to.
They don't have to. Why would I record a video for 20, 30 minutes when I can just go live for an hour, make more money off this live stream, and the live stream be a lot more interactive than the single video?
Call it a day.
And just call it a day. I made my $100 and I go to sleep. Shit.
And that, you know what's crazy is like,
There's
in my
nothing wrong with
opinion,
that.
not even that. They don't even have to do these daily streams. A lot of them that do streams, the co-op streams in particular, they're not daily. I've seen people doing this stuff twice a week. They're doing, live soulings twice a week. Yeah, the streams are long, so they get their bang for their buck. But it's like, you're telling me that y'all make everything you need to from just these two streams? Sure, you have your videos piling up in the background, getting, what they get. But your primary target is these two streams twice a week. You got a whole 5 days out of the week to just jack off and do whatever the fuck you want. Bro, that's easy. That's free. I understand why. That's why when you started doing the souling live, or not the Egglock live, and I watched and I sat there and I was like, I would much rather do this. Like, I were to come into
the Egglock is different. I feel like Egglock should be done live.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in general, like the live project.
I want this shirt.
What the fuck? What is
That's
this?
fire. That's dope.
Let me see.
Yoga played.
Oh, that's hard.
Bro, I hate Dawson, but
I want it.
That's not bad.
That's nice. I like that.
That's not bad. I hate Dawson, but that is not bad.
Continue.
But yeah, they it's that, it is what it is. I lost my train of thought after that Yoga Flame thing. Oh, the project, them being live. I feel as though at this current moment in time, because of the way the community is, because of the way the viewer base has been conditioned, doing these projects live is the way.
Of it too.
But they still come out. That's the difference. If they were to upload a solo project, right, or like, let's just say I did a Oris whatever lock, sure, and part 1 and part 2 were pre-recorded. I threw them up, and then I did part 3 and part 4 live. Part 3 and part 4 would do tremendously better than part 1 and 2 because they're live. It's just, I don't know what it is, but the fact that people can drop in and out.
So do the reaction. Well, people gotta understand, Pokemon is a dying medium when it comes to content creation. It just is. It really just is. Like, it really just is. And I think whenever the community wants to, like, admit that, we can be and do better. But this shit is a dying medium in terms of content creation. Everybody's doing what everybody else is doing. And at this point in time, it just depends on the personality of said person, which it should have always been, but now said person is trapped to Pokemon.
Yep. So, I don't know.
Can beat themselves, but they can't beat themselves.
Yeah.
Here we are.
But back to the topic at hand. I do think race plays a humongous part in people in the I wouldn't even say the patriarchy, in the climate of YouTube and content creation in general. I think black people don't support each other, and I think black people were always in the bucket, unfortunately. because we have to fight each other for the shine as well as our white counterparts for the shine.
You know what I noticed though? Just because you mentioned that one particular thing about black people not supporting each other. Black people love the fuck out of skits and comedy. If you are in the skit or comedy side of content creation, you'll probably pop off a lot easier, a lot quicker.
I'm gonna keep it a brick with you. That goes into the stereotypes I'm talking about.
I definitely agree with you on that because of the whole, like nigga factor, the entertainment, being a nigga, whatever. But
it works.
Yeah, it works.
By all means, it works. None of what I'm saying does not work. You know what I'm saying? Like these, but my issue is that these shouldn't be things to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to fit these stereotypes for you to find me entertaining.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
But that's it.
We answering questions.
I can't pull up the tweet. Where is it at? Oh, it's right here. What's shit? Got it. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Since Sony did the PS5 presentation and showed us some more games, when do you think Nintendo is going to do a direct showing Breath of the Wild 2 and other games?
Next year.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
Nigga. Since
Just repeat it.
Since Sony did the PlayStation 5 presentation and showed us some games, when do you think Nintendo is going to do a direct?
Aren't we supposed to be getting one in the summer anyway?
Well, I think it was more specifically talking about Breath of the Wild 2. I'm really thinking they're going to say something about Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild
more
2.
than likely next year. But if they're going to be doing a direct, definitely probably sometime in August.
I was going to say like it'd be late July, around mid-August, sometime in between there, because we know another Mario game is coming out. The Paper Mario game comes out next month. Mm-hmm. But Nintendo hasn't announced their lineup for winter. But they're going to do one. It's Christmas. They're not going to not have anything come out.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I expect a direct before the end of August, and I expect what they've been doing since the Switch is released is having a major game come out every month leading up to the end of the year. So September, October, November.
Yeah, the end of the year is always going to be their banger.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna do a direct around August or before August, and then start pumping out games within those last 4 months, maybe even the last 5 months. It might even start in July, to be honest, because Paper Mario would be considered as one of their bigger games.
I hope we get a Metroid Prime trilogy. I need that.
Do you see that happening this year, though?
Yes.
They have. The thing is, they have to, because they announced Metroid Prime 4. They delayed it twice, and now it's like, hey, y'all remember Metroid Prime? That shit has been long forgotten. It's been on the GameCube. Just port it over. Port the whole series over so niggas can caught up or whatever. They just can play the game. They can get a feel for what they're playing, and then give us 4 next year, or the year after, whatever, to get the collection or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be it. That'd be smart.
Mm-hmm.
You just drop a Metroid Prime 4. That's just gonna flop.
Yeah. The trilogy. We need the trilogy though. I need that on my Switch.
The trilogy on the Switch needs to happen because I need to play the games. I never played.
And I honestly wouldn't even mind playing it with the Joy-Cons.
I started playing them on the Wii when the homebrew shit was happening, but at that time I was just getting game after game after game after game, so I didn't get to play it.
He's like, they dropped this game. I'm in there now.
Hey, hold on, wait. Y'all remember GameFly?
Uh-huh.
So y'all know I had a Wii. You know me. I hack everything. So the tech was to get a GameFly subscription. As soon as you get the Wii, because you can put the disc in the Wii and just download it straight to your hard drive.
Yeah.
So you put the disc in the Wii, download it to your hard drive, and send it back.
And just keep repeat the process.
And just keep rinse and repeat.
Damn.
Now I'm not gonna say let's just be honest. We didn't have that many games to do that with. But every game that I did, I definitely, did that.
Yeah.
But all I'm gonna say is, Metroid Prime is definitely one of those games because I enjoyed what I played when I played it. So that's something I definitely want to put underneath the one of the completed in my catalog because that game, it looks fun, it played fun from what I played. So I have Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, and that other what was that one that flopped? The one that Ninja Theory made or
the
helped
one
out
on 3DS.
No. The one on it was on the Wii. It wasn't Prime. It was the one where Samus was on this ship, and she had talked to her old colleagues or whatever. It's the one where they gave her a voice and a whole story.
And you said it's on Wii?
Other M. There it is. Metroid Other M.
Okay. Yeah, that was on Wii.
So I want to get the Prime trilogy under my belt so I could finish the whole thing.
Next one. How did you guys meet?
All three of us?
I guess, yeah. How did you guys meet?
Bro, how did me and you start fucking like also my recording might be busted, but anyway.
Just appeared one day.
That's what I'm saying. Like how the fuck did I end up just in the circle? Right? Because I think I joined your Discord on somebody gifting a sub. But I'd already like followed you or whatever from that point. I tweeted at you and all that kind of shit. I think I talked to Mikey more than I did Nick though, because Mikey and I were into Mega Man and
we started playing
Epic 7,
Dragon
wasn't it?
Mark for Death.
Yeah, we started playing Dragon Mark for Death together. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, that was our little first. The three of us. That was our interactions together.
I met Mikey.
Okay.
I met Mikey when all the Call of Duty niggas came to Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I met Yoku. I've been new of Yoku.
Yeah, like Yoku's been around for a while. We just never really accepted him into our friend circle.
I think your friend was quitting.
Which friend?
Your friend was quitting. The Weavile guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Your friend was quitting. And I guess you were like.
Yo, speaking of Weavile, I kind of miss Pokken, man.
Yeah, I do too. I wish Pokken 2 was a thing.
I wish it was too.
Yeah. His friend was quitting, and I guess he was like you were very like vocal about or talking to him or whatever. He was talking to me and shit, and so I like kind of followed him or followed you, and then. I don't know. Just kind of just started bullshitting.
I remember that.
Huh.
Because I think right after that,
I'm gonna have to kick you.
I asked you to ask for that collab. Because that's when we started talking about like how to make my Pokemon content better and like what I could do. And then we started talking about like, all right, just start doing something completely different. Or make the other channel. Then my channel strike started to happen. And I was like, all right, I need something else. Yeah.
I might have to kick you.
I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one, man. You gotta relax, buddy. I might send you something in the DMs.
What?
That's what I said. Self-defense, bro. Self-defense.
Thought some Belle Delphine coming back.
We're not talking about that. Who asked that question? Nobody, right?
Thoughts on Belle Delphine coming back.
There's no way that's a question.
Niggas are pedophiles.
That exactly it, bro. She panders to fucking sick people, sick, twisted people. It's weird.
Niggas are pedophiles.
I understand the memes and the jokes behind it, right? Like her little Cell Gamer P or whatever kind of shit. That was funny as fuck. Great marketing scheme. Tons of y'all motherfuckers are dirty as shit. But anything else pertaining to her and like actually being around and making content and like people buying up her OnlyFans or whatever the fuck she's doing, y'all are sick. I just want y'all to know that. Like, I'm into some weird shit. Y'all are just sick as fuck. Like, that is... Dog, I watched a video on, like, while she was gone about why she was gone. And the last couple of things that she did.
Boyfriend or some shit?
Bro, so her boyfriend... She
had a boyfriend the whole time.
Yeah, and she has a boyfriend the whole time. People are like, no, that's not her boyfriend. It's just, she said it was the cameraman. Bro, her boyfriend is the cameraman. Then I found out, right? They're married. And they have like 3 businesses under their name.
Yeah.
So, and she does that to avoid paying taxes or some shit, or paying as much taxes from all the money she gets from like the OnlyFans and other bullshit. And so what ends up happening is that whole, while everybody was like going after the thoughts or whatever the fuck it was called, to tax thoughts or some shit like that, she was like under the radar for it because she didn't have to pay any of it. Any of them coming at her and like, oh man, she's not paying her taxes. Oh, well, she owns 3 businesses. She kind of doesn't have to. Oh, she donated to a charity. She doesn't have to. Like, that bitch is smart as fuck when it comes to managing money and not having to pay taxes and like getting rid of extra money. So I definitely applaud her on that. But she played the fuck out of y'all. She's gonna come back and continue to do it. Y'all are just weird. I don't follow her. I don't want to follow her. I don't want to keep up with her in terms of.
Okay, we can definitely stop talking about her next.
Yes. Hey, but just let you know that my Adobe Audition is not recording anymore. It says not responding. So, but continue.
What is the first thing you guys are going to do once we are able to go places freely post quarantine? Obviously.
Like, I mean, locally, I've already started to go get ramen. So that was like one of
where I live. I don't think there's anything I can't do. Like out of the ordinary, I go to stores and get shit.
Yeah. So I guess maybe they're asking, you know, like.
I mean, I guess like once everything is, I don't even think we'll ever be back to normal, but in some sort of normalcy to where we're able to travel, I definitely want to see my homies.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that's going to be on the books.
Like as a collective, the first thing that we're gonna do, is I don't think we're gonna wait on a con. I think we're just gonna like find a mutual place to link up and then just hang out for a week or a weekend or whatever it is, and then just kick it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing my niggas. I'm making a trip. Fuck it. I'm getting drunk.
Like you don't do that every other day.
With my niggas, man.
It's different.
I know it's different, but for him, it's like that's the highlight.
You make me sound like an alcoholic, bro. Relax.
Yeah, okay. All
I'm
right,
not an
man.
alcoholic.
You are when you drink.
I'm power wavy.
Was that it, or we got more?
Some of these are some we already answered. What's a port you really want to see on the PS5?
A port that I want to see on the PS5? Ew.
Honestly, I don't want to see a port.
I was gonna say something that we don't already have.
I would. Mega Man Legends 3. Let's make that happen.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Honestly, for me, Persona 3.
Honestly, I
Persona,
would like.
I want a remake of Persona 3.
That, and I would actually want remasters of the first 2 Legends. Like, if we can't get Mega Man like Legends 3, that's fine. Remaster Mega Man Legends 1 and 2. Give me that. I would actually be satisfied with that because Mega Man Legends 1's camera was ass. Give me something with a cohesive camera.
Facts.
So yeah, if I can't get Mega Man Legends 3, give me Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 remastered. Remaster, not remake. No, remake. Give me the remake. That's what I want. Hello?
Sorry.
Okay.
I had some technical difficulties. I had to pass out for a minute. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I just had an off-topic question
Okay.
because you're a Bleach guy, right?
Yes.
Soifon is Yurich's disciple. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Oh. Like, I don't remember all that shit. I'm useless as fuck, bro. I'm sorry you had to find
What's the
out.
next?
Like
What's the
that.
next
I'm sorry you
question?
had to
Right,
find
don't
out
even
like
look my way about that shit.
I'm sorry you had to
What's the
find
next
out that way,
question, bro?
The next question. These are all questions that I like low key already. How do you feel about no context and out of context accounts?
I like them. Why is that a
They're
question?
all right.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody has any ill will about no context accounts.
I mean, some people kind of. I feel like some people kind of do because of the whole oh, you're stealing my content thing and yada yada. But I feel like it
Oh
plays.
well, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, most of those accounts, they're not like stealing content because nobody's getting paid for it.
I mean, that's
If anything, that help the content creator.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I that's how I see it. I'm like, hey, I mean, it adds more to you. It gives people something to look forward to or whatever,
Right.
or something to look into. I don't know. But I think that's gonna be it for me, for this one. We
Probably
this.
3-hour podcast. God damn.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
We did our thing. All right, y'all. That's
I
gonna be
was
it for
supposed to be
us.
streaming 5 minutes ago.
That's gonna be it for us. Leave a like if you're watching this on YouTube. Rate the podcast if you're watching this on any streaming platforms. Follow us. What's wrong with you? Anyway, follow everybody. Link in the descriptions and stuff like that. Follow us on Twitter as well as individually. That's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
Zersky, baby.
What the fuck kind of?
Shut up.